If you want news and rumors that appeal, welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel. Good night from the Dusty Wheel. And we say around here, smash to black.
If you want news and rumors that appeal, welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel. Good night from the Dusty Wheel. And we say around here, smash to black. Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel. I'm your host, the Innkeeper, and this is our live call and talk show all about the Wheel of Time. And we're back. We're back on a Sunday evening. I don't remember the last time we did a Sunday evening stream. I think we've probably done one since we had these two wonderful people that I'll introduce here shortly since then. But maybe we haven't. Maybe this is the first Sunday evening, 9 p.m. Eastern show at the Dusty Wheel since last July. So without further ado, let me bring them on to the show. Welcome, the Wheel Weaves podcast. How you both doing? How you doing, Brett with two T's?
Oh, just me?
Brett with one T.
Yeah. I'm offended at that a little bit because I was just informed that you spelled my name wrong, but that's a running joke in my life because everyone at my work, nobody ever gets my name right when they call in for me. Like, we're talking every variation and others.
Brent.
I get it.
Trent, Rick,
Okay.
Brad.
Paul, Brad. Like, it doesn't even matter. You can just make up any name. So
And you just respond to
I just
it.
respond to it, so it's fine.
Okay, so by the way, everyone out there, thank you very much for being here. 53 of you apparently voted on this poll that I posted about an hour ago. 60% of you believe this is going to be Dani's favorite Wheel of Time book. Dani, thank you very much for being here. And
You're welcome.
you
Thanks
also
for
said
having
you
us.
answered
We're
this
so
poll,
excited.
So I can't wait to hear about that. But I want to end this poll because we got to start. I like to use our guests just kind of like chatter for polls. And so we have to ask you out there, what would be a better name for Brett? What would be a better name for Brett?
You know, that's fair. I have my own
is
opinions
it-
too, so
I
What is
actually
it,
like
like,
Brett with one T.
Brent.
that's rude.
Yeah.
Brett with one T. Okay, was it Brent? What were the options you gave us?
Brad.
Brad. Okay. What other?
How
what
about
other
Trent?
Trent.
You want
Oh,
Trent?
it's Trent. Okay, Trent.
Yeah.
So I have Trent, Brett,
Oh,
and then Brad. What's a fourth option for a different name?
That I've been called at my job. How about Rick? I get Rick a lot.
really?
Yeah,
Rick.
a lot. Yeah,
Rick. Okay.
Rick.
By the
That's a
way,
weird one.
they're like Innkeepers. I upped the volume on my my mic there, so it should be better for you out there. So we have Trent, Brett, Brad, and Rick.
What a weird way to start this.
No. Look. This is not weird for the Dusty Wheel.
Okay.
This is not weird.
It's
This
just
is like
it's been a whole year.
It's
I don't
been a
actually
year,
know what
yeah.
to expect anymore.
I guess it's weird probably in your day-to-day life. That makes sense.
It's been a weird year for all of us, I think.
Yes. Well, I mean, and this book kind of like is full of bubbles of evil. So,
It's full, yeah.
you get, feels a little bubble of evilish sometimes. So, with that, without further ado, then welcome you two. I can't believe it's been a year.
Yeah.
Can you let the audience know here? Have you actually started A Memory of Light?
No.
Not yet.
No. Okay, you
Nope.
have not.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
No, we just actually released the very last episode covering the epilogue.
Mhm.
So today's Sunday. We released it on Friday, 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Wow.
I bet there are some people who haven't even heard our epilogue episode, and we haven't done our own book recap and review
Mhm.
episode.
Yes.
This is the
Yes.
warm up.
Like,
This
This
is
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 the
it.
warm up.
Yes.
Really are getting in on the ground floor. You forced this to happen. It was supposed to
It's
happen
I
later
did.
this week, and you were like, actually,
Well, there's a
it
funny
actually
moment.
forced us
I,
to do like all of our stuff
Yeah.
ahead of time too.
I was like, oh, I'll just do it the Wednesday before I leave the WatCon. That'd be a fun kind of like Wednesday to go on. And then my wife was like, so I was like, yeah, we get to WatCon on Thursday. And she's like, no, we leave on Wednesday. And I was like, what? No.
Oh.
And then we looked at our ticket and I was like, yeah, we leave on Wednesday. So I was like, no show on Wednesday. Therefore, I don't have a lot of openings
Yeah.
until like, it's going to be too many weeks. I didn't want you to get too far afield. So you haven't opened up the last
I
page.
haven't even
Man.
cracked it. I haven't even looked at the cover. I haven't done anything.
So what I love about that is I want to take a moment, like before we jump into our. I mean, if you haven't ever watched these before, this is our 13th of these, which is like kind of wild.
I don't think
right?
so.
Didn't we?
We
oh
didn't
no,
do it
you're
for the
right. You're
first
right.
book or so.
We did like
Yeah.
we did like 3 in a
First
row.
3 books was
Yeah, yeah,
one.
yeah.
with who?
This is our-
Matt? With who?
Yeah.
Who
This
was
is-
your other?
Yeah.
This, this is our what? This is our 11th of these.
Yeah.
Just
It's a lot.
something like that.
It doesn't even matter. It's a
10th
lot.
or 11th. It's a lot. If you go back and just watch, it's wild for me to be here in this moment, right at the kind of precipice of the final book. I don't know, Dani, how are you? Tell us how you're feeling about that. Like you've gone through this whole process. Are you excited? Is it like you feel like you're going to open it and every page is going to be sad because you're just going to be like, this is going to end? Like, where are you at?
I'm excited for sure, but I feel like we started this podcast 6 years ago
Mhm.
in May, and that's when I started reading the books. And so my entire identity for the last 6 years has been first time reader.
We were in our 20s.
Whoa,
Wow. Now we're mid 30s.
amazing.
That's wild.
I don't really know how to cope with the change in identity as not being like I almost want
Yeah.
to read to the very end and like not finish the last like 20 pages or something just so that I can always say that I'm
You're like, oh no, I haven't finished yet.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself when I don't have to worry about spoiler. Like it feels so weird. So excited and also identity crisis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Brett, where are you at with this? Like,
Well,
Like-
yeah,
yeah, for you, I mean,
Something-
this is a much different way to have ever consumed these books. Like,
yeah.
like
Yeah, something tragic happened this book for us. I lost all of my notes and research and everything that I've done for the podcast over the last 6 years. It all got wiped out. Couple like 2 months ago now.
Mhm.
Yeah, so like
What?
everything I've ever done is gone. So I've been
Oh my.
so I'm working through that.
Yeah,
So
that's
we're taking
that's
yeah.
terrible.
we have to take a little bit of time between books now because I have to like replan a lot of stuff.
You should
For the
guys
last
should just
book.
start over. Just
Yeah,
do
you
it
know what? We
again.
could just do that. Start a book one and just like rebuild the database.
You know what?
Just do it again.
That would be so fun. And then I can definitely stay a first time reader forever.
Yeah, we got another 6 years.
By the way, the answer to this, everyone loves your name, okay? And so 33%, okay, not everyone, let's be honest. 28% wanted you to be named Rick. But 33% gave you Brett back. So there you go.
It's
You are-
different. It's
but
a
with
different
one
Brett.
T.
Brett
It's
with
not
one
the
T.
same.
Yeah, I'm just saying 33%.
But it's the same name.
I was like
No.
I was like in the same wavelength as
It's not the same,
33%.
and
Well-
I can tell that everybody in the chat who voted for that isn't a Brett because 2 T Bretts and 1 T Bretts are not the same.
Well, I
And
bet,
neither of us view us
I
as
bet
the
Matt
same.
feels the same way because
As
he's
1 T and 2 Ts.
because
Yeah.
he's a
Yeah.
2T Matt
Yeah.
and we read a book series with a 1T Matt.
I know. I always felt different. I always felt different than that, Matt. Like
Because
it was
it's
like one
different.
T,
Because it is
one
different.
T.
That's the
T,
one.
no.
That's the one
Yeah.
thing That's different.
Yeah. Brett is not equal to Brett. There you go. Night Runner said. There you go. You're feeling it.
Got it.
Okay. So I know we could probably spend a whole live stream, we probably will at some point, talking about this process. And but let's jump into it.
It's
if
so
you
much.
haven't ever watched one of these, there is a process behind this whole spiel that we do
Kinda.
this evening. And I know that you know what our first topic is, but
Yeah.
I'll have you say it anyways, Dani. Where are we going first?
I think we're going rate it.
We are going to go rate it.
Yeah.
Really fascinating moment here. How we feeling about Towers of Midnight? This is for no one. You haven't done a summary here. What is the Dani summary? Rate this book for us.
Good.
Good.
Terrible. Terrible rating.
You know what?
Good.
I liked it a lot, actually.
Mhm.
Mostly, this was Matt's book, and Matt's my favorite character. Remains that way, and so a lot of really good stuff happened for our boy, I think, and so that kind of swayed things. And then when I get just the ultimate prediction, finally,
She's finally right about something.
I'm finally right about something, like the ultimate reveal that like I've been really waiting for. So I feel like that just sways it. Like I'm gonna give, like I haven't even processed really the whole book. Like there are things that I read a year ago.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I need to sort of, I was looking today actually to make some notes for this, and even just reading through to be like, oh, that happened this book. Like I didn't even remember that. And so
It's been a year. It's been a long year.
It's been a while.
I have a confession to make too, because I was rewatching just snippets of our this from the last book,
Yeah,
The
yeah,
Gathering Storm,
whatever we want to call this.
whatever
Yeah.
we want to call this. And at the very end of that episode, we talked about the fact that you make an appearance in the book.
Right.
And then you had said, are we going to have you on? And I completely forgot that we had you on for your
Well, I
chapter.
didn't, because so we're like, because Matt said when we were first starting up, he goes,
Yeah.
oh, I can't believe it's been a whole year.
Mhm.
And I said, well, it hasn't really been a year because we had you on one of our episodes.
Totally
So
blanked on
we've
it.
hung out and but you were on our terms.
Was that in like December? Like that was at the end of the year? When was that? Do you recall?
Well, it was.
Oh, we could look it up.
That was
Now
the
I-
hard part.
now-
Is like I
now I
didn't.
can't
I
remember.
had no. I was like, oh my god, we forgot to bring Matt on. He's gonna
You're
be
like,
so mad.
No.
That's awesome that you. That's awesome that you forgot.
Yeah.
That'll give us some fun material to like talk back about again. Yeah, no.
Yeah, very highly rated episode too. People loved hearing you on our podcast, and you had some really great stories to share, and oh, it was so much fun. You were a really great guest.
I mean, Towers of Midnight will always. So I don't know if I told you this at the time. I don't know if this was true at the time. I can't remember. So it's just us. I'll tell you this. No, I think I've mentioned this to our audience before. Right now in my office, across from me on the wall, is the original Daryl Sweet cover, staring back at me.
That's
Towers of-
awesome. Very
Towers
cool.
of Midnight. So, that's what I get to like go and sit at work every day and see, and kind of like.
It's a
pretty
good
awesome.
cover.
It's a good cover. So yeah,
It's a great
that was-
cover.
It was
I'll
a
tell-
little concerning for like we were getting 3/4 of the way.
I was
through
so
the
mad.
book.
But we'll get to all the things that made me really angry, you know?
Yes, we will. I mean, so rated as compared to the rest of the books, like, is this in your top 3? Is this at the top? Is it top 5? Where are you at?
Yeah, so I would say Fires of Heaven is still my number 1.
Okay, that's fair.
But I feel like this book squeaks into the number 2 position, mainly because of all of the things that gets wrapped up
Mhm.
Yeah.
from the end of Fires of Heaven.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
There's
Yeah,
like-
so-
there's a couple. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll get into those, I'm sure. I have to agree with you that this is the reason why it's in my top 5. I haven't shuffled my top 5 in a while, but it's in my top 5. I think in part because just stuff finally gets resolved. You know, like
I know.
you're like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, like there's resolution, and that's felt good, like to just finally get there on a number of points. And there are some aspects of why I love the Wheel of Time that come in big here, right? Teleronriad, there's things that come to play here that, I mean, yeah, like the tower, there's aspects where I'm like, okay, I love this stuff when it comes to Wheel of Time, and we actually get to kind of like really dig in a bit more to them than we've ever, or come back to them in ways we hadn't come back to them in a while. So that's by the way,
I would say definitely top 3. But then some get shuffled around a little. So my top 5-ish are always going to be Fires of Heaven, Shadow Rising, Dragon Reborn, Winter's Heart, mostly just for the ending. And then
good ending.
It's a great ending. And then The Gathering Storm. I think I rated it pretty high.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything really that happened in it, but I trust my own notes here from last time that I liked it.
What I love is that what I love is that you have that now, and not that you haven't before this, but this kind of like, reading these books all together, it's really hard to start going like, I swear that happened in book 8. You know what I mean? Like there's just like I was reading through all the summaries for Towers of Midnight, and I was like, oh yeah, that one did happen in this book.
Every time.
There's just like so much. Like you read like a one-line summary and then like a paragraph summary of a chapter, and I'm like, they really spent time on that. I forgot about that.
So much time on so many things. Later on, when we have a category, I'm actually going to change it a little on you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I forgot to do that.
Okay.
No,
it's
just a slight shift. I'm just adding a word.
Oh, okay.
We'll get to it. That's just like the...
By the way, Andrew Berenson says it's in my top 5 because I get a cameo. That doesn't hurt. That doesn't hurt. That doesn't hurt.
Yay! That's exciting. Lots of cameos. Brett's actually very jealous that he didn't even know that fans could get cameos.
Like, I didn't know that was a thing. I don't know. How am I supposed to know?
It's exactly. Blake Blinded Fool said, Innkeeper forgot what was in this book. Oh, right. He only read that once. I actually don't remember how many times I reread A Memory of Light. I may have only read A Memory of Light in the beta reading process.
Like you've never read the final?
I don't know that I went back. You know how like you were saying, like you were trying to hold on to like a little paragraph, or something at the end? Like I read it in the beta, like at least.
But doesn't
at
it
least 2
change
times.
Drastically?
There are changes, yeah. So I've gone back and like looked for things, and so I've noticed, like I found things where I go like, oh, okay, that was changed. Sometimes with the Memory of Light, with some like I don't feel confident to talk to people, like when they'll be like this happened, I'll be like,
like you don't even know what actually happened at the
But
end.
that's a great way to just like drop the fact that you were. It's like, oh, I must be misremembering. I was part of that.
No, it's
a total dick about it.
There was something about when that book came out, and and we'll get there with the Memory of Light, but with the books ending and just like everything in fandom, I don't know, there was just I was like, I don't know that I really in this moment want to go back and read it. Now I had read it a couple times, and I think like, at least read it twice during the beta process, but
Are you going to read it over the next year now so that we can have a conversation about it next July?
How about you just read it along with us? You can listen to our episodes and...
But it was Innkeeper. I don't actually know how Watt ends.
After all of
I have no memory of Light.
That's good. And I have to answer really Night Runner's question about how I feel about Triscuits.
Yes. Thank you very much for the
was
tip,
this a bit
Night
because
Runner.
he put in the chat that he wants to bid $10 for that Daryl K. Sweet cover. So I don't know. Is this,
exactly. Well, no.
Part of that?
This is because I've openly admitted to having triskaidekaphobia, which is just I really hate the number 13.
Yeah, it's a little annoying.
But I like Triscuits, the crackers.
Nothing to do with 13.
Nothing to do. Unless there's 13 Triscuits, I probably would either have one more or one less. I probably wouldn't eat 13. Crackers on purpose.
By the way, throw out Charnice, good to see you. I've only read A Memory of Light once. There, I'm curious now how many people have only read it once. By the way, 50 some odd of you, thank you very much, have voted. What's your rating for Towers of Midnight? They were 82% said 8 to 9.
Yeah.
11% gave it.
It's just so lovely to get conclusions to some of our things that we've been waiting on.
I like to try to sway opinions. Like there are a lot of things in this book that end, and we talked about that. But like some of the biggest moments that you ever think about happen in this book specifically.
Yep.
We'll get to it.
I mean,
we'll get to it.
I mean, do you remember what the next group is? Do you remember what we're talking about next?
We're gonna
What
talk
we
about predictions. What I got right and wrong.
Ooh, it is what
Okay.
right and wrong. Right and wrong. Let's bring it up, everybody. If you don't know how this works at home, we have now 8 categories. We are on category 2. We like to dig into what Dani was right about, and also what was Dani wrong about. So
Can I start
like,
off? I'm just going to start it off. So it's actually kind of funny because since the very beginning of this book, you have been both right and wrong about the book title. She never figured it out. She would go back and forth between
The
Towers
The
of
Tower.
Midnight, a Tower of Midnight, Tower of Midnight. It's every variation.
Towers of Midnight. I got it
yeah,
now.
Yeah, but she struggled since like our book recap at the last book, struggling all the way up until the epilogue. So
I guess
That's-
every episode I'm like, the Towers of Midnight. You're like, no.
it was a year.
Yeah.
You had a year to learn it.
I'm pretty sure, like when it came
Never
out,
did.
I'm pretty sure a lot of us were saying the Towers of Midnight. It was like, no, it's Towers of Midnight. Of course, Light Blinded Fool, thank you very much for the tip. Said technically, Towers of Midnight is book 14 with New Spring and all. I mean, I don't really think
Unless
about
it's
that
14 books and a prequel. Like it depends how
way.
you
Yeah,
define
it
it,
depends
right?
on how you
Like,
talk about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
So that doesn't
that's a good one. So just clear the record here, Dani. What is the name?
Yeah.
What's the title of the book?
Towers of Midnight.
There we go. See, Brett, there. I don't know what you're
Did
talking
it.
about.
We got it.
I
We
feel
finally
like,
got it.
And do you know that like hardly ever, even at all, do we even talk about or see or even hear about the Towers of Midnight
I mean,
in this book at all?
we should have had like a section called "Interpret the Title."
Right.
Well, they talk about it like 3 times. It's
I
like
thought
brought up
there was
3
gonna be-
separate
I
occasions,
thought there was
I
going to
think.
be way more. So that's like the
'Cause
first thing I got
'cause what?
wrong.
Like all the titles of every book are always.
No, they're not. But sometimes they're a little bit spot on. And the Towers of Midnight,
Yeah.
I know, have something to do with the Shan-Chen. And so I predicted that we were going to get a lot more Shan-Chen business this book. And we did not get very much at all.
Is this a you were wrong about moment?
I was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did that make you feel? Were you happy or sad?
Well,
She loves being wrong. Yeah, that's like her
well,
favorite.
no, I'm happy when I'm wrong about something terrible.
That's true. Okay.
Okay. What
Unless
else
I
has come-
predicted, like, oh, we're going to beat the Shan-Chen forever.
True.
We're going to abolish slavery in the Wheel of Time. Like, great. I love that for us, but that didn't happen. Do you see? Not yet,
Okay.
anyway.
What's the one coming to mind for you, Dani? What were you right? What are you excited to have been right about?
Oh,
on this one?
should we say it already?
Oh yeah, do it. Yeah, do the big one first.
I mean-
Do-
Okay, well,
yeah.
Moraine is back.
Finally, she was right about it.
Not only did they rescue her, but they rescued her well.
Okay, good. Like
And she's
Yeah.
alive.
we'll have to we'll get there with new, notable, and shocking, I'm sure. But
mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, there was a lot of predictions. Like as we were on the journey of this book, she was bringing up because the cover art, right? They get to the Tower of
Yeah.
Genji.
No, don't. We got to talk about how I wanted it to end. That's another category.
I know.
Skipping
I know.
ahead.
yeah.
But the breakdown of what she thought was going to happen changed several times because we were getting closer and closer to the end, and she's like, "Well, maybe we're just gonna like get there, and then the book's gonna end."
Yeah,
right?
I
And
didn't think
so
we
we
were
can
at-
get the chat. We can get the title.
I
like
was
the-
gonna
the
be
cover
so
art.
mad.
Yeah, but how it could have ended. That she
Yeah.
you got some good ideas.
Moraine is back. Like
12 books, something
Were
like
you-
that. It's
I
so
know.
dumb.
were you just excited? Were
7
you just
books.
like were you like, okay, I'm happy now.
I
Yeah.
counted down for her like how long we had been
It actually, be-
away from her.
yeah, because it actually finally happened, and I built it up so big,
Mhm.
it was kind of anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Because I was like, oh yeah, there she is. Let's go. Like, it wasn't like, oh my god, I can't believe it. Like,
yeah.
You're like, certainly I
Yeah.
need more here.
Yeah.
So I told you this, right? When I was on your show, we talked about this. No, we did not. We would not have talked about this. No, we wouldn't have. That's right. Because we wouldn't have gotten to
we
this
wouldn't have
point.
got
So
there
I-
yet.
So
No.
yeah, what I couldn't tell you, which is a fun kind of segue from like having like that chapter that I was on for
Yes.
was that. So as part of the beta reading process, the file that I received, I was reading. I read something different than what you all read when they leave the tower.
Oh, for the Moraine rescue.
Yes, what I read was
tell
not
me.
what was in the books.
Can you tell me what it was?
Yeah, I'll happily tell you. It's a fun
It didn't
thing
make it in the books.
I want to know.
So what happened was Brandon had gotten permission to write basically some approved fan fiction, and he only inserted it into the file that I was doing on the beta read. And so I had read the book really, really, really slow. So in the way I did the beta read it was like literally every line, just kind of scan it and think about it. So it took me a week to get through it the first time.
That doesn't sound that slow, but
Yeah, that sounds very
try
fast.
a year. How about Matt?
No, imagine you're in a beta read process and you're taking off the whole week, from work, and you're just
Right.
but I get there to the end and I read this scene, and the scene, it's probably, I don't know, you should listen to the scene read by Michael Kramer. I had him read the scene and record it. And instead of telling you what it is, this will be a fun thing for you to go back and listen to. Okay. There's a discussion that I have with Brandon about it. I don't remember if we do any spoilers there in A Memory of Light, so I'll send you the one that just has Michael Kramer reading it.
Yes, please.
And it's Dana Lou's saying, "Play it." Should I just play it? Would you like to hear it right now?
Yeah.
How long is it?
What else are we doing?
I actually don't even care. It can be an hour. Let's just
what else we're doing? We're just freaking chilling out, chatting about this book.
You want to have some obscure footage of a chapter that didn't make it into the Wheel of Time?
I mean, I kind of want the exclusivity. I don't I want to be able to say that I heard it, but no one else did. No.
Okay, here it is. This is the without commentary. So yeah, it's not very long. It's only 3 minutes. So here you go.
Okay.
So you'll have to remember what you read. And so yes, if you obviously have not read Towers of Midnight, this won't spoil anything.
Well, what are you doing here if you haven't read Towers of Midnight? Leave.
So
it's going to get spoiled.
This is what I read. This is amazing.
Okay.
He must have made a face at the thought, for Tom chuckled and Moraine smiled again. The two of them soon lost interest in sporting with Matt, however,
and turned to a
soft discussion.
Oh, sorry.
That affection in their...
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm no, I like the art, but
you're everybody else could hear it, just not you. Here you go. Okay. This is something you'll be able to hear this, but you can say, "Yes, Matt, I can hear this." After we start. Here you go.
He must have made a face at the thought, for Tom chuckled and Moraine smiled again. The two of them soon lost interest in sporting with Matt, however, and turned to a soft discussion. That affection in their eyes was true. They did love one another. Light. How had Matt missed it? He felt like a man who had brought a hog to a horse race. He turned to make himself scarce and leave the two alone, but he froze. That was no deer in the bushes. It was too tall, too wide. Moraine gasped suddenly. "Channeling," she said, leaping to her feet as a bar of something white and brilliant cut through the air toward the camp. Matt cursed, rolling out of the way. It narrowly missed him. An older woman burst from the bushes. She had gray hair set with little ornaments, and she had the ageless face of an Aes Sedai. "You," Moraine said. "Cadsuane." Cadsuane cackled, letting loose another bar of balefire, but an unexpected knife thrown by Tom startled her, and she missed Moraine narrowly. "She must be one of the Forsaken!" Matt cried from beside a log where he'd thrown himself. "Forsaken!" Cadsuane exclaimed. "I'm the Dark One!" "Not for long," Moraine said, casually waving her hand in the air. A gateway split the air right in the middle of Cadsuane, chopping her in half. Instead of blood, a dark tar-like substance, stuck with beetles and dead flies, splurted onto the ground. "That was a tad easier than I thought it would be," Tom noted. "Yes," Moraine said, settling herself beside the fire. "But I'm certain it had Matt going for a moment or two." "Me?" Matt asked. "No," she said. "The other Matt. M-A-T-T. We should continue what we were doing." Matt scratched his head, but shrugged and continued on his way. He went to scout the area where their gateway was supposed to appear. It had better. They had no supplies, and Matt did not fancy flagging down a ship and riding the long way back to Camelin.
Okay. So,
Oh my
That's
god, that is
unbelievable.
so good.
okay. So the greatest part about this is I remember talking to Brandon, and I've never liked Codswain.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
I've never liked Codswain,
Like
and
him?
I told him, I was like, dude, you're finishing the last couple books. I don't know if Robert Jordan left anything, like who has to make it, who doesn't, whatever, but you could just kill her.
Yeah, it's fine.
And
Yeah.
and I remember saying this to him all the time. Like anytime I'd like see him and be like, dude, you still have a chance. You can kill her.
I love the fourth wall breaking. That's
Yeah.
so funny.
So he
incredible.
puts this scene in he trolls me with this of like what turns into like a bubble of evil Codswain dying scene. So
Yeah,
so my experience of this as a reader
that is so funny.
was I wanted her to die. And so
Yeah.
like
And you're
and
like,
the
oh,
way-
good.
oh yeah, the way that he wrote this, and I remember
Mhm.
doing what you guys were doing and what people in chat were doing, which is like,
That's
this
weird.
is really odd, you
Yeah.
know. But then
So
like
she was the dark one all
All
along.
along.
well, he did like really good like there was like he made it kind of very bubble of evilish, you know.
Yeah.
In a way that I was like, oh, and then literally like had M-A in the script,
Yeah.
like in the reading, it was like M-A-T-T, and the first like Maureen
Really
says,
had Matt
do you think we had
going.
Matt going? I remember reading M-A-T-T and I was like misspelling. Okay, I'll make that a comment to that, you know, because you're like, oh, I have to like a misspelling, and then
No,
the
the
second
other
time,
Matt.
the other Matt, and I was like,
Am I the
Yeah,
I'm
is
gonna-
that me?
I'm gonna go back and read that again. And so I read it like a second time, and I was busting up laughing.
Oh my
that
god.
is
I remember
fun.
writing.
That
I
is
remember
really
writing in
good.
the in the document. We had like a beta document and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is the funniest thing. This is hilarious."
But nobody else had it.
No. And then all the other beta readers were like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, "Oh, I didn't realize that this was like written and only given to me at the moment." And so yes, it was the funniest thing. And I guess they had been waiting for like Brandon had been like, did he recognize? Like they wondered if I had been fooled by it, and I did not like notice it or didn't. Because I was like 7 days in, and I finally got to it. I remember Peter, his head of editorial, he was like, Brandon was like, maybe you didn't. Like we're all like wondering when were you gonna hit this? So it was
like
fun.
you completely miss it and just like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you decide that you don't like being trolled, and now
Yes.
you're not finishing your beta read, and you're mad.
or you're like, no,
And
I'll
yeah.
keep that in.
Yeah.
That was great.
You're like, no, that was excellent. I do think that Catswin should die that way.
It was
Right.
it was it's pretty epic. It's epic, and then having Michael Kramer read it was just like
Yeah.
even better. Like actually
Yeah.
hearing
I
him
love
read this.
that.
And then I
Thank
talked
you
to Brandon about it. And
for
so
letting us-
if you want to go see us after you're done with the books, because I can't remember if we spoil anything from Memory of Light. So after you finish, if you want to go back, there's like a 10, 15, I can't remember, something like that, discussion with Brandon about how this came to be and about the whole thing. It was hilarious. But yes, that Moraine is back. So it probably felt good to finally be right about that one.
was pretty great.
Light-Blinded Fool, thank you much for the tip, said, Matt is the only person I know who decided to work for someone who trolled him so epically. That's true.
Yeah.
What else were you right or wrong about?
There's a couple big ones.
I was right. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
well, okay. I'm gonna go on the topic of Noel
Yeah.
because there's a big wrong. Because that guy has been on the top of my suspicious list.
Yeah, and like justifiably so.
He's so suspicious. Like he's such a weird dude. I was like, oh, there's something wrong about this guy.
Yeah.
And I never trusted him for a second. And I
Yeah.
didn't like him at all, ever. Like it never won me over. He never won me over at all. I was like, ugh, what's wrong with this guy? I was like, don't trust him, everybody. Like what? Anyway, but then I also wholeheartedly speculated that he was Jane Farstrider.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the only explanation. Like, well, he's like such a weirdo. Like, he probably is Jane Farstrider. So I was wrong about him being like weirdly suspicious and like a dark friend
and like evil. Yeah,
and
at
evil.
one point, I think she thought he was in like cahoots with the Golem because that's when we first we get that Matt.
Sure.
Noel
That's when he
interaction.
jumps out like all weird fighting the goal. It's like
very suspicious at that point.
So suspicious.
Yeah, but yeah, she did pin it down eventually that it was. But and again, like Noel introduces himself as like Jane Farstrider's cousin, and then and says way too much.
But then he like says like weird things, and he's like, "Oh, my memories." Like, So
what did you think?
He was Jane.
Yeah, what did you think about how do you feel like that whole thing turned out? You said you thought it was good. Yeah.
It was excellent.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned like not being surprised that he was the one to be like left behind.
The chapter title is called "The One Left Behind."
Yeah, and I mean Moraine's entire thing was like you got to bring 3, and like one guy I don't know.
Yeah,
and like if anyone's gonna
go,
it's gonna be the guy we don't know.
I'm cool with Noel going. I was like, yeah, okay, he can.
Yeah, because it's like Matt and Tom is the alternative. It's like we're not killing off Matt.
No, that would piss me right off.
Probably not Tom at this point, at least. So, yeah, so he was the one.
Yeah.
Made sense.
Like someone. Oh, let's say. Oh, where's the last comment? Oh, I thought. Where did I miss? There was another one I missed here. Sorry. Oh yeah. I like Day came out and said Noel and his pet Gollum. There you go.
Yeah. Well, that's what it kind of felt like. So, anyways, that was right and wrong. I like being right because as soon as he was like, and tell them that Jane Farstrider, I was like, haha, knew it. Right.
Yeah, I mean that it feels good when you pick one of those up. So yeah.
That's good. No, I liked that a lot.
I'm taking notes about that one. Okay, I like to go back and kind of remind myself on these. Okay, okay. What else? What else comes to mind? What were you right or wrong about?
Yeah. So 2 more big ones. Something? No, but these are the things that we've kind of talked about. The right and wrong is the Matt versus Golem showdown.
Oh yeah, yeah. I said that the Golem was gonna die.
Yeah,
and he was gonna use the medallion to do it. But my theory was that it would destroy the medallion to do it.
Yeah, kind of like a sacrifice. Like I have to give up this medallion to destroy it, which I think it would be pretty cool too. Like that's a heavy trade-off, but like it's one of those things you got to do.
Like I thought it would like all melt, like you'd have to like shove it down its throat or something. And
leave it in there or something.
And then and then you lose it, or it doesn't work anymore, or like it served its purpose.
Yeah.
But no, so he uses it to kill the Golem. Golem's dead, and then we still just get the medallion. So I guess win-win, even though I'm wrong.
Allegedly, the Golem is currently falling through nothingness for all eternity,
right.
So
that is how they get him.
Yeah. So like allegedly.
I actually forgot that.
Yeah. There's a whole thing. There's a whole thing on how they kill it.
Right. No, I remember now.
Yeah, it was nice to have a little bit of, I guess, like to Brett's point, some closure of that. The whole the medallion and the Golem. And actually having something kind
safe
of
now. Safe in that it's gone forever.
Oh yeah, we feel so safe all the time when we're reading these books. Everyone is just like always so safe.
Yeah.
I like it. What else? What else were you right or wrong about this time?
The wrong one, actually, I think it was someone in chat mentioned it. I don't want to steal it. Night Runner, yeah, because I'm pretty sure the Grendel thing. Because
I really fell for the Grendel thing.
It's so funny because the Gathering Storm. You get Natron's Barrow, where Rand Balefires.
And it's like, bye, Grendel. And
and he does the whole thing with the compulsion and the aid that it'll work. Yeah, we sent a Ramshalan or whatever in to figure that out. And then at the end of the Gathering Storm, you're like, yeah, Grendel's dead. She's finished. We saw it. It's good. Don't worry about it. And literally like the prologue, the prologue we get from her point of view, where she in fact is not dead.
Not dead.
Yeah.
And it's the other one. Erengar?
Yeah.
Actually Halima?
Erengar.
Halima
Balthamel.
Yeah. Actually is a goner.
Yeah.
Because of Grendel's quick thinking.
Yeah, how did you feel about that? How did you feel about that kind of like
Loved it.
Did you? Okay.
Oh, I loved it. I like Grendel as a villain, so like that's fun. And I love when I'm surprised. Like if I can't predict something or something is shocking.
Yeah.
Like that's fun for me. That's like the best thing.
So like on the record
That's
now,
my favorite thing to read.
Are we worried about Grendel, or is she for sure gone now? Like for sure. Not like last book where you're like she's for sure gone. Now she's for sure gone. But like, what do you think?
I don't think she's for sure gone. Well, she's not dead. Shadar Haran, whatever his name is, specifically said, "Nah, you're not gonna die. You're just gonna live forever suffering.
Torture you for all eternity."
Yeah.
So
What
we get good or we not good? I know we're supposed to wait for predictions, but like I'm gonna forget about this one.
Nah, no, she's in Limbo Land. She's not dead. Well, she's not dead.
Is she gonna be a
But
problem?
I don't think we have to worry about her.
All right.
Okay. That's
well, you fair. Just took a weird. So I think we have.
You're
to
gonna be so.
Now I think we have to worry about her because of the way you just led me to that.
Of course you should. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be worried about everybody. Like I can't believe that you're like going. We're going to the last book here, and you're all like, it's all fine.
Like, that's a good question, Andrew. And I can't remember if we ever talked about this. Do you ever read the glossaries or
I
not?
know where you're going with this. Okay, fine. We can talk about how I was wrong about this too. So, no, I don't read the glossary because the one time I read the glossary and spoiled myself.
Yeah.
Like a dumb spoil that was dumb. I think what did I spoil? Who was the guy? The secretary guy?
Oh yeah, Balwer.
Yeah. I was going to look up something that started with a B.
I can't remember what
something,
but it was something about Balwer.
And then I was like, just looked at it, and it was like secretary to Perrin and Fael. Yeah. And it was like the same book that happens later in, but I hadn't got there yet.
Well, and that happens in like, I'm pretty sure it happens like in the second or third chapter. Like it happens so early on.
And I was like, what the heck? How? What? And so
yeah. And then I've like banned her from it.
So so that's probably the biggest thing I've ever like spoiled for myself, and it was through the glossary. But if you ever come across anything that needs a glossary definition, then Brett shares it.
Yeah, it's a good reminder for people in chat. Remember, these two might see stuff in chat, so keep yourself spoiler free in here as far as the Memory of Light and glossaries, apparently.
And glossary. So except now here's what was explained in the glossary.
Yeah,
in
and
this
I
book
explained
is that apparently Grendel was responsible for Asmodean's death, which feels stupid, and I don't like it.
How did you feel about this one? Because honestly, like the Asmodean reveal for me was always so like anticlimactic. It came so long after the deed was, and again, Fires of Heaven, like another one of those things that gets wrapped up this book.
Yes,
the Golem. The Grendel Grendel thing was like she's not dead, and then this one.
That wasn't Fires of Heaven. Moraine.
Oh yeah, Moraine. Yeah,
Moraine and Lanfear. Yeah.
So
and then Asmodean. So
this is another one that I loved. I loved this question of who killed Asmodean. This was one of my favorite things. Like when I got on the internet and like. Started Theoryland. Like this was
what the internet's for.
Yeah. This was one of the best. Like this is one of the first. It might have been the first theory page I put up was who killed Asmodean, but it might have been second actually. I probably did something, Lanfear related as the first one, but or it might have been another character, but I won't bring it up right now. So that was one of the first ones. That was such a topic. It was covered all the time in theory forums, over and over and over again, to the point where you definitely had a part of the fandom that hated any mention of this theory. Hated it because it would just bring people. I remember talking for 3 hours in the hallways at the first Jordan Con, like with just fans that had showed up and were talking about this theory. So
apparently you have a song. I'm reading about us. You have a song. I do have a song.
So yeah, I will play it for you.
Was that a Wat Idol song?
I'm trying to think. I'm assuming I can play it. Yeah. Like, can anyone go? There's nothing in there that I don't think that would be just confirm.
Yeah, let's proof it first.
The old one. If someone wants to go listen to it, if you can go watch the original and tell me, I don't think there's anything that spoils anything past Towers of Midnight in there. But if someone wants to give me thumbs up in chat, that'd be great. I remember the first time I met Brandon was at a Jordan Con, and my wife and I had walked in, and they were all like. Let's just imagine everybody was sitting in like a U, of tables. And so he was sitting like in the center of that U.
Oh, yes, holding court as he would.
and maybe it's off to the right a little bit. And we walked in, and there weren't any other seats to sit down around the U. And I was like, oh, this sucks. And I don't think I'd really sat down and talked to Brandon ever before. So I grabbed 2 seats and went into the middle of the U and sat right in front of him.
Nice.
And I introduced myself.
So bold. I love it.
And my first question for him was, who killed Asmodean? And I think that took him aback a little bit. And I hit on this theory so much because if you go back and listen, I'm pretty sure, Brandon, I'm going to say this with 95% certainty, he didn't care about this theory. As in, like, he wanted to know what the answer was, but this wasn't something he like ever cared about. Like, he did not. And
Fair.
so I made a point to bring this up all the time. And so I take a little
This is why he
credit.
did that whole special thing for you to throw you off.
I take a little bit of credit for the hating how this. I also hate how this showed up in a glossary, and so yes, I'm.
So it's your fault.
Yes,
Well, also
I take a
in the
little bit of the
text,
blame
when I
because
was
I made
reading-
it such a big deal about it, and I don't
Yeah.
think they wanted it to still like go into the. I don't think they wanted it.
Well,
to be
it's not
talked
even
about
it's not even very explicit in the writing, in the text, in the epilogue, where it's like you're responsible for the deaths of 3 chosen when Shadowrun is talking to Grendel, and it's not he's not like you're responsible for Asmodean dying or something.
No,
It-
in the text, like I
Yeah.
didn't even pick it up.
yeah, I had to walk
And
you through
then
it a little
when
bit,
we
but-
were recording, Brett was like, and she's responsible for 3 deaths. Who are they? Right? And so I'm like, okay, well, obviously Arengar, and I guess he outright says Masana, but who's the third one? And then I went, is it Asmodean? Boo. Like, just the worst. And he's like, well, yeah, according to the glossary. Like why? I want to go back and read. This is one of those things where I'm like, oh, was there these little tidbits of like,
Yeah.
why it would be Grendel leading up to this, whatever.
So this is one of the theories. Like, I think after you're done with the series, we should just have a discussion about like theories. And
Right.
I should bring this one up. I'm not gonna have you listen to the Wad Idol thing because there is, I think, I make some references later on in the song that I sing that
Sure.
I just want to hold on that. And we'll come back to that after the books are over.
Next
But
July.
yes,
Next July
my parody,
at
the
WalkCon.
first.
We'll go to WalkCon next year.
But I think it's a good one. It is the parody that started us having Wad Idol, as in like it was a parody that I had done at JordanCon, and then it kind of became the root of like, let's just do a parody like competition, if you will. And yes, so I'd love for you to hear it, but it is about
You're like responsible for the best and the worst things about the Wheel of Time.
it is about Asmodean. I take some blame. I take some blame on that one because I'm like, man, I think they just did not want to. Like, I was making such a big deal
Can
about it.
you do a
for
poll
long
for this?
time.
How many people are satisfied with the Asmodean reveal / it being Grendel death? Can you
Okay.
do a poll about that? 'Cause
Yeah, I'll
I
ask
wanna-
us.
I want to know how.
Well, by the way, 70% of you said you were right about Noel.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the funny thing is, I like when I was reading, I had no, like, I'm terrible at picking up any kind of signal or sign of anything. So like, I had no clue that Noel was Jane Farstrider, and I had no clue who killed Asmodean. I was just going through these books and reading. I wasn't like being critical at all. So it's always been a big surprise for me. Yeah.
Okay. Were you satisfied with the end of the Asmodean mystery and how it was shared with fans? Is that how you want me to phrase it? Does that work?
Yeah. Are you satisfied with the Grendel killed Asmodean reveal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
It's resounding.
Well,
maybe.
it'll either be like a no or like who cares. Like there's no like, oh yes, so
Yeah.
satisfying. Like,
Well-
yeah, right. I don't believe you if anyone says that.
You know, I feel like it would have been different, and also Robert Jordan, I'm pretty sure had said like, oh, it's obvious if you read the books. Like, no, it's not. Number one.
Yeah, mostly it's like a who cares at this point. It's
Yeah.
just so annoying because of all of the speculation. And at one point I thought it like I had so many different ones.
Yeah.
Do you remember some of the ones I said?
I like the one.
Avienda?
Avienda was my favorite one that you said because
Mhm.
it kind of fit the bill that it would be like Avienda was
Yeah.
in and around. She's someone who would want to do something drastic like that to protect Rand. Asmodean knows of her, so he could be like, "Oh, you," and like it fitted, and I love that one. But
Yeah,
maybe if we had gotten that reveal sooner, like if we had gotten that
In a way that like
a
made
book or
sense,
two later,
where it was like
yeah.
revealed her motives. Because do we even know? Like,
You can speculate, but again, probably not not the time for that.
It's all. Yeah, that's it's a fun one. We should go back. It's one of my favorite theories that's ever come out of this. Like Melissa KJ said, "This is such a huge fan." Malie, who killed Asmodean, was like, "Who shot Jr." That I agree.
Oh.
If you don't know the reference to that, like go look it up. Yes,
too young, then that's what that
you're too young. But yes, Avienda was a fun one. I had some other we asked Robert Jordan a question at DragonCon 2005 about the theory, and so we were trying to get him, because there's so many suspects that have been talked about over the years with fans. We just had him take off one person from the list, basically, instead of saying who killed, who didn't kill Asmodean from among these. And I think he chose Padan Fain. I think it was like he was like,
yeah, I think at one point I probably said Fane.
There's a lot of names being
a lot of names. Yeah, Avienda is my personal favorite of my own speculation, because she has real good motive. I thought, and she's like whatever, good with like knives and crap, you know.
Yeah. There was Luz Jr. said, I always thought it was her Slayer. I did appreciate the Theorylanders who would write 12-page essays on how Mo did it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and Slayer has a reputation for going around and assassinating people. Like that would be also good because he's like a literal hitman.
Yeah.
For whoever is employing him at this moment.
Yeah.
That would make sense too.
Yeah, it's a fun. It's a fun topic.
I like this comment. Kadir got a cooler death than Asmodean. Yes, he did.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He has the best death, I think.
Actually, yeah.
That was the best one. Who's Avienda? That's that one, right?
Yeah.
That's the guy.
Yeah. Was there any other before we move on here?
Oh yeah.
Right and wrong.
Okay.
Oh
yeah. Okay, let me just I'll just rattle
through
some.
Yeah. Go for it.
Okay. I was wrong that there was going to be a rescue plan for Elida.
That was my favorite one you were wrong about.
I thought we'd get like somebody somewhere in the
You're
tower.
Like, they're going to organize. They're going to go save her.
They're going to try. And I didn't think it would work, but I thought they would at least try.
Or care, but like immediately they're like,
guess she's gone.
Yeah.
The end.
Oh no, we're going to put together a team later to investigate that.
Yeah, right. Also my madness theory on how the madness works after the cleansing. I thought that they were gonna get better, but no, it turns like I thought it was like a smoking thing. Like, if you stop smoking, then your lungs start healing.
Gosh.
Like that's how I
Yeah.
It turns out
Not so much,
you're just like stuck at your certain level of crazy, but I don't think you're not gonna get crazier.
Yeah, which
it's not gonna like keep building probably.
Yeah, it's positive.
That's like pretty revealed. And then some things I got right. I said that Gawain was gonna be Egwene's warder. And unfortunately I was right about that.
Right.
Because yuck. And also something I was wrong about, I said that Gawain is gonna try to kill Rand, and then Rand is gonna have to kill Gawain. I thought that Rand was gonna kill Gawain because Gawain's an idiot, and
then you have like this really good payoff where it's like Egwene's former boyfriend,
lover,
lover / whatever you want to call it, has to kill her current boyfriend / lover,
and I mean,
whatever you want to call it.
There's still time.
There's
still time for Rand to kill Gawain.
But Gawain's gone through some emotional healing at the end of this book, and he's like, Gawain finds out that his mom is not dead. So now all the people who've been telling him that his mom is not dead,
because he believed the random stranger peddler who had some random rumor and was like, I heard the Dragon Reborn killed the queen.
Yeah.
And he's like, what?
Yeah.
And that's who he believes.
Yeah.
No one else.
Because then we had Egwene and Elaine both telling him like, not true, didn't happen.
And he's like, yes, it did. Randall Thor. Come on. Anyway, so there's that.
Yeah.
And then also, I guess Tom and Moraine.
Yeah.
they did get together, unfortunately, like, in a weird way. So
It's cool.
married. I like Morgie's Talonvor.
Married.
I like them. We've got a lot of like pair ups.
We did.
This book.
Yeah. It's the season to pair up, before.
Yeah. I'd
Yeah.
say that those are the most standouty
Okay.
things.
Yeah.
Moraine being the best.
Yeah.
Best
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Because I've been saying that
So,
every book.
Dan, I just want to point this out. You were in the long line of like so many fans, just like we're all like there were so many fans of like we're waiting for that to really be the reality.
Yep.
And so like you said, it was like I remember, didn't you predict it like every book for like the last 4
Pretty much,
books?
yeah.
So end of book 5, she's gone. And I think I said book 9. I was like, okay, give it some like a reasonable amount of time for us to believe she's gone.
Yeah.
And then book 9, she's coming back. And then book 9, she did not come back. And then I was like, okay, next book. Okay, next book. Okay, next book.
Yeah.
And finally, I was right. Yeah.
Finally, you held on to that.
Now,
That's good.
somebody has asked me to ask you to explain to us all about the Warder bond with Lan situation. Based on the metaphysics of it all. You love that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, so-
I'm trying to remember.
Like why would
context.
Lan think like immediately as she goes through the doorway
Yeah.
that she's dead?
I've explained it as the doorway being like melted, severed the link between the two in a way that is not natural because the doorway melted. So it feels to him the same as if she had died.
But when she went through the doorway at
But
the
that
other
doorway
place,
didn't melt. Didn't melt though.
The bond stayed intact.
Didn't melt though.
So this is what I would say is I believe, and I swear Jordan answered this, or I don't like whatever the answer.
Cut it off.
I don't like whatever answer.
switched it?
Like to me, the only real answer should be that she passed the bond
She
after
did
going
it on
through the
purpose,
door.
like as she was falling through the door.
To me, that's the
But,
only
passing the
metaphysics
bond
answer
doesn't
that.
give you passing the bond doesn't give you the whole like Lan was feeling that I'm gonna
Sorry,
die.
I shouldn't say pass the bond. She set it up if the bond was severed,
Yeah.
and so yes, she would have had to have like, and I can't remember. Can you sever? You can sever your own bond.
Well, I like to imagine the Warder bond like a little string that's tied between the two people, and then Moraine goes through, and with the door melting, it severs the
I
rope between
don't like the door melting because it's such a metaphysical connection. It doesn't have like it's still like within the world she's in is still like a parallel world to this. Like
and
it
she
should
still
be able to
had a
survive
way
it.
to get out. Technically,
Yeah, it should still survive it. So I don't like the doorway. So it would have to be the only other answer, like you're saying, would have to be that she severed it. So
yeah,
like she severed it
as she's falling through and like killing her. Like
I don't think she severed it. It got cut because the doorway melted. It closed the door so hard that it snapped the cord.
whole like other world and doorway. I don't like it. I'm not a fan of that.
Is like, don't ask too many questions about it and move on.
Magic. It's magic.
This is one where I just go, in my head, she severed it in some way that, it would have passed, but in a traumatic way that Lan felt it. But not because of the doorway. I don't like the doorway answer. So
Ooh.
I don't think
you hear that? He doesn't like your answer.
Yeah, Danalu's right though, because she said she agrees with me. So
okay.
The metaphysics don't hold up on that. So I just don't like it.
Danalu.
So.
I said Danalu. Whoops.
Yeah, that's okay.
All right.
You're also bad at reading. It's okay.
I'm bad at reading. I don't have my glasses on either. So.
Oh yeah, where are your glasses?
They're downstairs.
So yeah.
Maybe it was Grendel. Grendel severed it.
By the way, were you satisfied with the Grendel killed Asmodean reveal? 53% said no. 24% of you, not surprisingly, said who cares?
I did. I voted.
24% of you said yes.
75% don't care or don't like it.
I voted who cares.
Not great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people said yes. Those people also probably didn't care very much. Realistically, like if you were like, yeah, that was good. Was it though?
Yeah. But to the metaphysics question, I don't think the metaphysics support that, but I think it's the other thing you have to believe is that Moraine severed it. So, yeah.
Oh, well. Okay.
Which where I'm going. Sorry. Yeah.
Next
what else,
category.
All good.
Okay. Let's jump back into. Let's jump out of right and wrong to and this is like these. We know these kind of get covered as we go. Like
Yeah, but it's fun to break them down this way.
Yeah, it's fun to kind of just stop and think about them this way. So
can I say
yes,
it?
we're gonna talk about new notable. Sorry, I thought you were there.
No, it's okay.
I feel like I'd already
I'll
kind of
get the
revealed. I felt like I revealed it before. I was like, oh, we'll talk about that new notable shocking next. So new notable and shocking. Yeah, like where like what immediately comes to mind on this one?
Okay, well I have some things that are shocking and some things that like just because they're notable doesn't mean they're interesting. You know what I mean?
That's fair. Also, we're not guessing what categories come next. Like we wrote them down. I have it written down.
I like even have notes for each one section now because we want to,
be prepared.
We're professionals, okay? We're so professional. Okay, so here's something that's new and notable, but not shocking.
Okay.
Elaine manages to take the Sun Throne.
Oh yeah.
Kyrie.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
We haven't talked about Elaine at all yet. She's mostly just pregnant and in her bed for a lot of the book.
Right.
Even to a point one time, she gets hoisted up the side of the castle in her bed.
Oh my God,
and that's
this book.
Yeah. And that's like the most shocking thing I think that actually has ever been written because it's so ridiculous. It's the most ridiculous thing. I was so incredulous and I still am. I can't believe that was a scene that was written and okayed in this book. She needs to go see Matt demonstrate the dragons.
She wasn't allowed to get out of bed, so you bring the whole bed with you. That's the
Yeah, but like you couldn't have had like guys just like carry your bed, or like even Brigitte could have just like piggybacked her or something. Like we're like hoisting a bed up the she just roll out the side of it. Like
it does seem dangerous.
It seems wild.
Except we know that Elaine will be totally fine because her children will be born healthy. So Elaine is invincible currently, which is also why she does that other thing this book, where she tries to infiltrate the Black Aja disguised as a Forsaken.
Oh, that's in the next category.
And that goes great for everybody.
Teddy's ready to talk about that one. Yes, that I like that you pointed out something. I like that you pointed this piece out about Elaine as your new notable shocking. It's good. Yeah.
Well, it's new and notable, but nobody's shocked.
Yeah. Yes, no one's shocked. Yeah. No. So true. Brett, by the way, I sent Brett a quick question in Discord. You can get back to me in Discord.
Okay.
So I don't know if you can see it there. Anyway, sorry, go ahead. Keep going, Dani.
That's okay. Okay. Now, a shocking thing that we actually already talked about was that Grendel actually escaped Natchan Sparrow. That was shocking. That was a shocking reveal for me.
Yeah.
And then something new, notable, and shocking, Aviendha makes it to Ruidian and has a crazy experience.
Yeah, I love that. I love the Ruidian sequence. It's so cool. Because like you love the Wayback Machine and then you get the Way Forward machine. Which is horrifying. So
yeah. Which I actually speculate that's the way it should have been used the whole time. But nobody ever steps back into it to go backwards. How about that?
What did you think about that? Yeah, I mean, talk to me about that piece of when you say it's shocking.
Feels like pretty terrible.
Yeah, like things don't. So if anyone
can't
remember, so basically in the future that Aviendha sees, however we want to phrase that, the Shanshin basically take over the world and basically destroy the Aiel and their way of life and the last remnant of a remnant. Like the Aiel
and
are basically
all channelers, basically.
Yeah, and like we from what I like we see the end of the lineage of Aviendha. That's it.
Rand.
Yeah. So it seems like we see the end of it, the end of times for the Aiel. So it's depressing. It is shocking.
I hope it's not real, and I hope it's not.
We hope we can
change it.
Yeah. But then it's also like, this Shanshin force that is all powerful, and it's kind of like the zombie style, where like if we capture one of yours, you turn into one of us, right? With channelers, like if you don't die, you just turn into another unit for the bad guys, and they are like disciplined militarily. Like everything we've seen about the Shanshin being like an incredibly powerful force even if we don't like it, it does seem like they're kind of set to take over the entire world as it is right now. It's not good.
Yeah, it was one of the and I agree. Someone said best thing Brandon wrote. Was again really, really excellent. I mean, I mean, maybe not as, because it was such a, you go back to Shadow Rising and such a monumental kind of moment. It was
almost nostalgic to read it.
Yeah.
It like brought me back to those original books.
Yeah.
Because as we've been going through this, obviously things have changed and how we read has changed and it's just all different and how I predict things and what I think is coming. But reading those chapters felt like I was almost back.
Yeah.
Reading one of the first books again. Like it was nostalgic to read.
Yeah.
And interesting. And I wanted to read it again and then read it backwards and then read it,
and you get like the original Ruidian sequence, you get the hopelessness that the Aiel feel of where they came from. And then on the flip side, it's like the hopelessness of where they're headed and they can't survive on the land anymore. And it's like a complete arc. It's so well done.
It's so well done. Yeah. That piece, the whole book. Like if I had to pick, it's got to be that whole sequence with Avienda has to be one of my favorites.
It's so good.
Yeah. It's so good. For sure.
And then there's so many call forwards, I guess, or callbacks to what we see happening. Like there's one of the sequences is like, oh, they've gained the dragon weapons, like basically the cannons that we currently see. Like Matt and Eludra and Elaine working on it. It's like you get the timeline of like how
and I
things
really
evolved.
like that we get just some insight into Rand's kids.
Right.
We get
kids are sometimes just the worst.
Yeah. It turns out they're terrible. But that entire sequence, I developed a theory based on it, and my theory is that the dragon can't be reborn until all of his lineage is gone.
Interesting. Okay.
So like, how that so like we watch through and through and through, and then all of his descendants.
And we had a hard time.
We had a hard time with
that.
I was like, future.
We couldn't remember the word for descendant. It was the whole thing.
Okay. So once all of the descendants and everyone in his bloodline dies out, then his soul can be reborn. And maybe that's why it takes so long sometimes.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah. That's my
I like it. Yeah. I like it.
I don't know if that's ever I don't think that'll ever be actually talked about. But
there's one book left, so like who knows?
It's just my personal that's my personal fun times thing.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that was definitely new, notable, and shocking.
Okay.
100%.
How about Perrin teams up with the White Cloaks and saves their butts?
Yeah. So it's really funny. So I asked Dani, I do like a perspective breakdown of like who we see this book. Yeah. And I asked her how many, like, what is the big, like, how many perspectives have we had? Who do we see the most perspectives from this book? And initially she said Rand, which I thought was funny because we only get one perspective from Rand this book, like literally one, and it's in the epilogue, and it's like less than 1,000 words. We see Rand a lot in this book, but not from Rand's
never
point
from
of view.
his perspective. So that's interesting.
But Perrin is like the biggest friggin' perspective guy. There is so much Perrin Galad like dynamic duo stuff happening in this book. It's crazy. She hates Perrin.
I mean, do you like Perrin in this book?
I think I like him more in this book than I've ever liked him.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's saying something.
I like his cool supercharged new hammer.
That's true.
That he makes.
Now pronounce it. Do it.
Mayala line.
It's pretty good.
That's good.
Is it? I actually don't know. Is that?
That's new.
Yeah,
Mjolnir. Oh, it's the Thor hammer.
Yeah, that's Mjolnir.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
But, yeah, it's basically the same thing. Yeah.
I know the Thor hammer. Yeah, it's basically that.
And I'm pretty sure Tom DeSimone, I think he told me I think he has like a replica. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure. Because when Tom was guesting with us, there's this whole story that he told me that they told me like after, or like you were gone on a break or something. There's a whole story about it's like a life-size replica, and it's like
I've seen that thing.
150 It's so big.
Of the
So
hammer?
heavy. I think so. And I
Oh.
I just came to me now, and I think so, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's cool.
Oh, it exists. Okay, it's a real thing.
I mean,
Okay.
Perrin and the
think
White
so.
Cloaks. Did you like how this all turned out in Towers Midnight?
And Grendel's involvement in it. It's so funny.
The dream
Yeah.
spike thing was the whole ESAM thing that got sprinkled in there, and then all of the wolf training montages in the dream world.
There's a lot of it, yeah.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of Perrin.
I was like, oh great, another training montage. We get it. Like as the reader, we know how
Yeah.
Tel'aran'rhiod works, and now we have to watch Perrin figure it out. Like it's just
Yeah.
oh god.
Because we get Tel'aran'rhiod training from so many people, and it's always like
The exact same. It's the
Pretty
exact same.
much.
And I mean, like, I guess a little bit of a different
I mean,
perspective.
Perrin's is different, but
Not enough.
It
Yeah.
is the same
But
though.
okay.
But I do have to say, it does lead to one of the coolest scenes, I think, personally. Maybe top 10 in the books.
Is that when they all intersect in the dream world with Egwene's
Mm-hmm. So this is
battle
the
where
book
she
where we
like
get
turns Masana's brain into mush?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
this is the battle with Masana in the dream world
in the White Tower.
In the White Tower. It's like between both, but then Perrin
And
shows
Perrin's
up.
like, I'm just gonna take this dream spike and throw it over here, and it
Yeah.
like lands like in the White Tower,
Yeah.
basically. So then,
But the cool scene, if you recall, so Egwene is battling, and then Perrin shows up, and then she's like, he can't be there. So
Oh,
she
yeah.
wraps him up, and then Perrin's like, get out of here.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, he's
how
stronger
did
than I
you
think.
do that? How did you do that? And he's like, well, I just don't want it.
But what weave does he deflect?
Balefire.
Balefire. He deflects Balefire. And then she's like, how did you do that? And he says, just the weave, bro.
Just the
Just the weave.
Just a wee bro.
Not a big deal.
He says the bro. He says it in the.
This has it, yeah. By the way, it makes it a better comment. This is Dallas said, you can tell when the author is a Perrin fan.
Yeah, you can tell. But it's such a cool sequence. And Egwene is just flabbergasted. Because my favorite thing with Tel'aran'rhiod and anybody who goes in it is everybody thinks that they're the best.
Yeah.
Everybody's personality is always that I'm the best. Perrin thinks it, Wolves thinks it, Wise Ones think it, Lanfear thinks it. Everybody thinks that they're the best always.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, it's because they're all delusional.
Yeah. It's like their domain. It's like, this is my domain. I'm the best here.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask, how much or did you like It's Just a Weave, bro?
Bro.
Well, sure.
Bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course.
Sure, I like that. Why
It's
not?
amazing.
Why not? I mean, like, it's fine. Now, here's something I do like: the Galad and Berelain love connection.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, but I did not care for Perrin's stupid fake trial.
Oh yeah, that's probably the worst.
It was
The
so
trial is the
dumb.
worst.
What's the point of that even? Well, I know that Perrin had a point. Perrin
Yeah.
had a point for the stupid trial, but the White Cloaks are so dumb to be like, yeah, okay, let's do this. And then he's like, I'm not going to do what they say anyway.
Mm-hmm. And then they're like, he's not gonna do what you say anyway.
Yeah. But Galad's like, nah, we'll do the right thing.
Yeah. So we're planning a bonus episode with our lawyer friend.
Yeah.
And we're gonna
Okay.
run through the trial of
Perrin.
because I don't know. I think it's garbage. I think it's a garbage trial. I hate the trial.
Mistrial for sure.
I love the fact that it happens, but I also
So
hate that
dumb.
Morghese is the judge, and I hate all of it.
She's like, I'll be
Yeah.
impartial. And
Yeah.
then she's just like, nah.
I don't
Yeah.
feel like she's impartial.
I'm man, that was a long time getting to that moment, and
Yeah.
it's not my favorite part.
Well,
No
I mean,
doubt.
that's what I love Towers of Midnight, because there's so many iconic scenes in this book. Like, it all happens. There's so many there's so many events taking place.
Yes.
Okay, here's something of note.
Mm,
Are you ready?
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
It's not really shocking, but Nynaeve takes her Aes Sedai testing
Yeah.
at the tower.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
something to note that happened, I guess.
It's important.
Did you like it or?
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. She like flew through it and was like the best at it. It was the best.
Yeah.
I mean, she's naive.
She's
Yeah.
naive.
Like, do we think she was gonna,
No.
you know?
She's like, oh no, 2 weaves at a time. How am I ever going to do that? Like... So
Kevin Berg said, "Does your lawyer friend know Andor law?"
well, we aren't in Andor.
She'll study for it. She'll
Yeah.
study for the.
Yeah, and like she probably does.
Yeah, she's
read the books. She's been on our podcast before.
Mm,
Well, there you go. Okay, so maybe.
So maybe.
maybe.
Okay, what else? What else is there? Anything new? Is it anything notable?
Oh,
Or
what
new
about
that was
Gawain saving Egwene from the blood knife
Yes.
ambush?
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta
Is this?
give it to
Is
him.
there a category where it's like love it or hate it? I can't remember.
The good
because-
and the good and the bad.
Good, the bad.
Let's save Gawain for that part because I hate him.
I didn't know there was anything you hate about these books.
Oh, it's if there's anything, it's Gawain. But I love that I get to hate him so much, and he does such a good job of making me hate him.
Yeah,
He's just such a great hateable character, and I get some people like him. We're just gonna do this now. We're just gonna talk about it now.
Yeah.
Okay,
By the way,
here's
I mean, Andrew Berenson, the most notable cameo for the Dusty Wheel. That never came up, but that's fine. That's fine.
No, I'm not
Yeah.
done the list yet.
I mean, that's fine.
God.
yeah, no, put that.
I
in.
still have the whole Battle of Meridon with Ideralda to talk about.
Oh man, holy moly. Okay, Okay.
This is a full book.
It's so
100%.
full.
there's so much stuff.
It was a year. So really, because we took like double the amount of time for this book, it should be double the length of the Dusty Wheel episode.
Oh no, because the last one was like 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean,
Can't be here for 4 hours.
Oh, yes, we can. Everybody around here knows how long the Dusty Wheel can actually go on for.
it's true.
So
Okay.
don't cut me off.
Okay.
It's what I'm saying.
So
Just don't
here's
cut
my
me off.
problem with Gawain. Here's my problem with it. So Egwene makes it very clear multiple times, and then makes it not very clear multiple times that like she doesn't want his help,
Women.
but then he
So complex.
doesn't understand it, and
He doesn't
then
get it. He doesn't get women.
doesn't
Oh,
get
God.
it, and then he leaves, and then she's like, "No, come back," and then he's like, "No," but then he's like, "Yeah,
Well, that's because then Elaine in a rowboat
yeah,
is like, you just gotta do what she says, man.
yeah." And then finally he's like, okay, well, I'm going to go back. And then it's like, oh no, there's going to be an attack. And then it's like, okay, I saved her, but then he's going to die. And then he also like contaminates a murder scene and just steals a bunch of rings.
He steals them. He takes
And
them.
then Egwene doesn't ask any follow-up questions about his new fancy necklace with
Well,
3
she
rings on
does,
it.
but he's very tight-lipped about it.
And like, when has that ever stopped him from getting in an argument or a fight about like what is around your neck right now? Like, that's crazy. There's so many question marks. He just...
Okay.
And he keeps getting vindicated in his not listening to Egwene because he keeps coming back and saving her.
Because she explicitly said, don't do that. But then the one time he did come back, it actually...
Yeah,
her.
it actually saved her.
So
And
it's
it's like,
annoying.
it's such a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gawain. That's a whole.
Gawain.
It's a whole other live stream.
Right?
I know. Hate him.
Okay. But you love the Battle of Meridon.
Oh, it's the best
You
thing
love
ever.
Ideralda.
I friggin' love Borderland fights. I love Ideralda. He's like my favorite character, I'm pretty sure, besides maybe Bashir. Maybe Ideralda's
But
top.
Bashir arrives.
But Bashir comes too, and it's like
It's
the best
both of
fight.
them.
And then Rand friggin' comes in and cleans up, and it's like, this is great. This is everything I've ever wanted, is to see like
And
an
by
OP
the way,
Rand.
found that king you were looking for.
Yeah, hilarious.
He's right here.
Yeah.
Here
Oh,
he
that's
is.
something she was wrong about,
Oh
actually.
yeah, I was wrong. I
Because-
thought that guy was so dead.
Yeah, but also
Yeah.
because I've always been like, oh yeah, I said I love kidnapping people, and you're like, no, they don't like kidnapping people, but I'm always like, yeah, they actually love it.
But I was like, if they kidnapped this guy. Yeah, they
They
would.
kidnap people all the time. It's
And they
maybe
get
the thing
kidnapped
we
all the
see
time.
most.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
They,
No,
they like
I
to be
love
kidnapped.
the Rand I like to see Rand in his element of being super overpowered and cleaning house with the shadow spell. Like, I like to see him having a big
It raises a lot
win.
of questions as
Yeah.
like, why can't you just pop in literally everywhere and do that everywhere then?
we've talked about that because he really used a lot of his force, and if he says literally after this, that was irresponsible. If any of the Forsaken attack me right now, I'm not going to be able to fight back. Like,
Yeah, but I feel like we could probably still
We could place
craft something
some
where
sort of
we can
defensive line.
really show up and like maybe closer to the borderlands so that we're not getting through to other places.
I'm not saying there's not a solution. I'm just saying there's a reason why he doesn't just go do everything.
I wish that he would.
Rand's job isn't to fight the Shadow Spawn, it's to fight the Dark One.
I mean, that's true.
Okay, what about the Borderlanders meeting in Farmatting?
Love it. Love it. That happens this book too. We finally get a
You know what I don't love?
solution to this one.
Ugh, any of it.
Oh, come on. Come on now.
I don't love it at all. I thought we were going to get some sort of, because my prediction ongoing is that Demand Dread is somewhere.
Yeah.
And because after I was wrong about the Taim thing.
Yeah. You actually had a good theory about this.
I had a good theory.
Yeah.
Well, it still makes sense.
Yeah. So we get a hint that Demand Dread is hiding somewhere.
And he has an army.
And he has control of a large
I was like,
large
he's
army.
with the Borderlanders.
Okay.
Why else would he get all the leaders to march away from the Borderlands?
Like literally as far away as possible. They're completely taken out of everything.
I thought we'd get that reveal.
It makes a lot of sense. And then also
Tenobia is clearly a dark friend.
Yeah, because we also have part of the issue with Meridon is that like Tenobia's
like best cousin
or something is a dark friend.
He's a dark friend.
Yeah.
Who Tenobia always trusted and liked. And I'm like, well, Tenobia is a dark friend and working with Demand Dread.
Yeah. Who was like trying to get Idorol to kill.
But we didn't get that reveal at all.
Meridon.
So now I'm still waiting for that.
So
is that? I mean, by the way, I've been adding a couple of these as you go to the predictions. I was like, some of these seem to feel like you're still.
So Demand Dread being in charge of a large force, large army, whatever, and in hiding somewhere, it made sense for the Borderlander stuff. We didn't really get any closure.
Makes sense.
It still makes sense, but we didn't get like a reveal or nothing like that. So
no, and then they all just like punch Rand in the face, and they're like, "Okay, you're the Dragon Reborn."
Yeah.
What?
Makes sense.
What?
Yeah, what's the problem here?
There's a lot of, I mean, so I'll say this, I love this book, but there is a lot of kind of like, get this, like we just got to get, this has to happen, you know what I mean? There's
got to get the pieces on the board, like in the right places.
Yeah, exactly.
We got to get the board, everybody at the field of Marilor. Got to get everybody to the meeting at the end.
Because this one felt like that's why I thought like Perrin just felt like we have to give Perrin something to do. Anyways, I didn't like the whole. I didn't like a lot. I mean, I love the Teleron stuff. I love the Teleron stuff with Perrin.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it feels like okay, the White Cloaks. I'm not.
Oh, Jeff wants to know if I think that Demand Dread will be revealed before the end of the next book. We can't even say that anymore because there's only one book.
Oh.
So if things aren't revealed by the end of the next book, we'll never know. So I'm sure hoping so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a weird feeling. Because normally I'm like, in 5 books we'll learn that.
Yeah, you don't have any more like I can hang on to this theory and over the course of many, many books, I'll find out. It's like anything that you don't find out at this next one. Now this isn't totally true. There's stuff even after the books, and what I mean by that is like there's things for you to kind of consume after you read the book.
Yeah, we're going to do those. I got those.
Like every episode you've ever done that I haven't been able to watch.
There's this channel called The Dusty Wheel.
There's just stuff. There's stuff. And I think, that'll help.
There is stuff.
It sounds like you didn't get to the Dusty Wheel yet, but you're getting there. But I'm assuming Dusty Wheel is on your list here.
It's on my list. Here it is. It's next, right here.
Like that was new, notable, and shock. I mean, I think that
that was pretty great. The
piece, because it wasn't like as shocking to you because you were aware of it coming, right? Like that wasn't. Yeah. You knew that was going to happen, and then
no, I actually didn't. That was fun for me.
You didn't know that?
No, I only knew kind of because I knew you were coming on. Well, I think you didn't even tell me that he was the guest. You said we have a guest.
I don't remember. I didn't remember that he guessed it, and I'm sorry for that. It's been a long year. And
I liked it, though. It was great.
And I have to assume I had a good time, too.
Well, the fun part is that it tied in with the Golem, So it was like that chapter. So you get that piece of it, which that part was fun.
The rumor wheel. Okay, so on our Discord, we have a channel for every book.
Yeah.
So no matter where you are as a first-time reader, you can go and chat in the book that you're reading. without being spoiled by the rest of the stuff. And in every book, I name each book the title of, or I guess the title? No. Name of an inn.
Name of an inn. Yeah. The inn's name.
And
yeah.
Nice.
This one got the rumor mill.
Sweet.
Rumor wheel.
Well, then all is forgiven.
It's on there. It's on the Discord forever. I actually think that because we keep it on, like, our general chat always is the name of an inn in the book.
Yeah.
And then as we move through, it changes. But then each book gets its own. And I think this one will just get straight up the Dusty Wheel.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, that's acceptable.
Us too.
Okay. What else was new, notable, and shocking?
Well, let's move into the next part, I think, maybe.
I mean, this one sounds
because we've covered a lot. So
yeah.
Okay, so do you know what is coming up next?
Well, we have the good, the bad, and we used to call it the ugly.
Mm-hmm.
We did. It is the good and the bad.
The good and the bad.
I think last time we called it the good, the bad, and the stupid. I think
the stupid. Okay, because this is where I have another name for it.
Okay.
It's the good, the bad, and the unnecessary.
Unnecessary. Okay.
Wait, I'm not going to agree with this. What was unnecessary?
So much was unnecessary.
Okay, so what was on your good, bad, and either stupid, ugly, or unnecessary?
Unnecessary.
Okay, let's do the good first.
Okay, the good.
Yeah.
Rand has a reunion with Tam.
Yes.
After he almost kills him in the last book.
Can I add to that? He also off screen, has a reunion with Hurin, who he treated poorly because at the Borderlander army, he was like,
Rand
hey,
redemption for sure.
Definitely. Like, Rand's in a better state of mind. And he does a little bit of apologizing, and
he introduces Min to Tam.
Yeah,
which was cool, right?
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah.
Although, are we gonna see the introduction of Elaine and Avienda also to Tam?
No. That's okay.
Not
Not now. Maybe later. We'll see. That's a harder one to explain to your dad, I think. Maybe.
Like, polyamory.
Yes, maybe.
Like,
what about? No. Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, Tom's cool, I think, and he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I've read the prophecies."
Tom gets it.
Yeah.
It says
Tim
right
gets
there,
it.
prophecies.
It says right here. It says right here that you're gonna get a bunch of wives.
Yeah, I think the whole Rand coming down off that mountain, and then what you see here, like, it takes some of the edge off as, like, just a fan having read the books for so long and just all the stuff that Rand had been through.
Yeah.
And, like, there's this moment where you're just like,
yeah, honestly, like the almond bun, like the apple orchard thing, it's beautiful. Yeah. It's such
and
a
good call
feeling.
back to our almond bunt or whatever.
Yeah, going back to almond bunt there. Yeah, I mean,
from book
that
one.
was what a fantastic start there.
Yeah, it's like in a series where you don't get to feel good very often. It's just like it feels nice.
Yeah.
But then it's also like,
I was
oh no, why
do
I feel good right now? This can't be good.
Yeah. I think we called him like Zen Rand.
Zen Rand.
You know,
yeah.
Zen Rand. Yeah. It's a good.
Yeah.
That was the good Rand redemption. Zen Rand.
For sure.
Good stuff.
So nice. Now we've talked a lot about Matt, but I think that Matt was a really good part of this book, even if you're not a huge Matt fan. Because I mean, I assume there are some out there. I don't get it, but some people might not like Matt, and there are some really good Matt moments.
Yeah.
Like we have him bringing the dragons to Elaine and Camelin. We have him sending the band to Kyrian with Elaine.
Yeah, really helping out Elaine here.
Really
to, like, move troops
killing the golem and then saving Moraine from the Tower of Genji.
Yeah.
We have so much.
We also have the creation of like a bunch of replica Foxhead medallions.
Oh yeah,
this book.
we do.
Like that's a big thing that happens, and keeping in mind there's something that happens that is Elaine's fault. So just because
that's part of the bad,
we're gonna pile this in just because it's on a similar topic. Elaine thinks I'm safe, so I'm gonna go and look like a Forsaken.
I'm gonna go visit the Black Aja alone, disguised as a Forsaken,
right?
To trick Chesmol into giving me information, and then freaking Mellar.
Yeah, so it goes bad. Mellar escapes with like one of the Foxhead medallions.
What's his actual name? Jack Hansen or something?
Yeah.
What is it? Something?
So it's Doylan Mellar. Yeah, he has a bunch of names. He has a couple. I can't
Chris
remember.
Hanlon?
It's not Chris Hansen. It's Chris Hansen. It's Chris
Chris
Hansen.
Hansen.
Is it actually? No.
Yeah, he's trying to catch a predator, I think.
Oh, right. That's that guy.
I can't remember. Hold on.
Matt, what's Doylan?
David Hanlon is
David
Doylan.
Hanlon.
David Hanlon.
It's
Is
just
Doylan
like the
Mellar.
most white
Yeah.
guy name you've ever heard. It's
Yeah.
what did
Anyways,
I say? Jack
Yeah.
Hansen or something? Okay.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Jack Hansen.
Okay.
Uh,
Anyway,
close
he's
enough.
gone with a medallion, so that's bad. That's part of the bad.
Yeah.
That's part of the bad. Yeah.
Elaine, stop doing stupid things all the
Yes.
time.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's one of the books where it's like she thinks she's perfectly safe because the whole viewing
I mean,
for men that are babies
But
are
would
going
you
to be safe.
would you really want that to be the case this late in the series? Like, I mean,
For
just
her to
like
be-
Gawain and Elaine, they just kind of keep giving, giving in
They are
specific ways.
related.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
know,
That's
right?
true.
I mean,
Yeah.
she's got to. You're just like really nothing will stop her from just making just
She
making
really
choices.
wants to like be the hero.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, and she thinks that like that's part of Elaine's personality is she's comparing herself to all the queens of yesteryear who did all these great things. And so she's
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
she's trying to live up to the hype.
Oh, here's a good thing and a prediction that
Okay.
I think I got right, and in the end, it's like not that good.
Okay.
So we have a letter from Varen to
Okay.
Matt,
Yeah.
and he refuses to open it. And on several different occasions, different people try to go and open it, and Matt's like, no, don't open it. And like in the very end,
Mhm.
Oliver is
Frickin'
the
Oliver.
one who opens it, and it turns out we should have opened it all along, like I said.
Yeah, I love the fact that Varen gets Matt wrong on what kind of person he is.
Yeah.
right.
Because she in the letter, she's under the
like, you're
assumption
obviously
yeah,
gonna open
you're gonna
this."
open in like maybe a day or two, but like
You
you're
should
gonna
have
open it.
just told him.
Yeah, which is crazy. And I don't know, we had a conversation, but like, why did she afraid? Why didn't she just like tell him to open it and you don't have? It's
Well,
the-
it's in case she
yeah.
didn't die, because then she couldn't break her dark oaths.
it's probably related to that as a big thing, but it's like, man, just
But now Caemlyn's under attack,
yeah, what a cliffhanger.
Yeah,
and
so
Elaine isn't here right now. She's never here today.
it's a problem.
Yeah, the epilogue of this book is really solid for
Also,
like cliffhangers. Yeah.
Again, explain
Yeah.
to me what an epilogue is, because this is just a continuation of the story.
End of the book.
Yes.
Mhm,
I mean,
Here's a good thing. Lots
Yeah.
of people learn that Morghese is not dead. We get lots of
Yeah.
lots and lots of Morghese individual reveals, and I love Morghese so much.
Mhm.
Morghese is my favorite subplot line.
really?
Yes. Yeah,
I think
she
so.
loves Morghese.
I
Yeah.
love
Really?
Morghese. Yeah.
I mean, that is.
It makes Perrin's story way more interesting. So that I like
Okay.
that. And
that makes
it's
some
just-
sense.
it's just interesting to like I'm like, oh yeah, Morghese, like let's figure what's gonna happen next. I don't know.
Yeah, Perrin's bad at like weddings. That's a weakness
He's
of
a
his.
bad officiant.
Yeah, because the ceremony was basically him saying, "You're married, go away now," and then
And Fael's like, well, that could have been a little more romantic. And he's like, what? What was wrong with that?
they said make it short. Yeah.
Yes. When you say Morghese makes Perrin's storyline a little more interesting, I mean that's okay. Okay, I can accept that. She was one of the ones I thought that we've like kind of cut out of the story. When we do the like keep and cut for TV, we've always been like, yeah, let's just end that
Yeah,
storyline
except
early.
no, I like Morghese.
Okay.
Pretty solid.
That's the one that I've
Okay.
actually been following that I'm like, ooh, I want more Morghese.
Mhm.
Okay.
I do love when Morghese makes the return to Caemlyn, and she's like, "I'm just gonna
I'm
stay in the
not gonna
background,
overstep at all.
not gonna overstep." It's like, whose mother do you know who isn't
like-
gonna be an overstepper here? Like,
You're like,
there's
You're
no
the
way.
one that raised this person that we keep on saying, like,
Yeah.
what are you doing, Elaine?
Of all the
yes.
unbelievable things in this series, this is the most unbelievable that your former queen mother
Isn't gonna come in and
isn't
like,
gonna try and overshadow you.
right?
Morghese
Yeah.
would never do that.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Okay, let's balance it out with a bad.
Okay.
Elida teaches traveling to the Shanshan.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
That's
so
bad.
Debatably,
Yes.
it's the worst thing. Debatably, it's the worst thing.
Debatably,
That
that's the worst thing that's like happened.
It's like the
Yeah.
one thing that has held the Shanshan back is the ability to instantaneously appear anywhere they want at all
Yes.
times.
And all this.
And they're the type of people who will use that to a military advantage when the rest of Randland is barely doing shit with it.
Yeah. Which is just like.
Yeah.
So annoying. And then
Yeah.
you're
Uh-huh.
like, oh,
It's
great.
bad.
I do
Yes.
I do love the realism because like as soon as they're taught gateways, you have like
She's like, "Fuck, we're going to attack the White Tower again right now."
yeah, and like
So, like, we're all just waiting
all the
for that.
military captains are like, this is amazing. Like this is the thing that we need. This is fantastic. What are the limitations on this one? Like how far can we go? How big can you make it? Where can we get to? Like yeah, like that's what would happen. It's in the hands of the enemy now. It's not good.
Frickin' Elida. No, frickin' that other.
Yeah, we paint it's Ciane or something.
Nope. Starts with a B.
Oh yeah, Barrisine maybe. It was one of them. We pinned out whose fault it is.
Who taught Elida
Yeah,
traveling?
who taught Elida.
We like went all the way back
That's hilarious.
to
It went
figure
back
out
to
like
find
whose
out.
fault it actually is. Turns out it's Egwene's fault for rediscovering traveling in the first place.
True.
Egwene.
Yeah.
That makes sense that would go back to Egwene.
Yeah.
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 So that's bad.
And who's her
That
boyfriend? Gawain. He's the worst.
You know what else is really bad?
What is bad?
Whatever's happening at the Black Tower.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's not good.
It does seem not good.
It feels bad. And you know, I like this Androl character.
Yeah. He's a little ray of sunshine.
He is trying.
Yeah.
He's even teaming up with Pavara.
Yeah.
So
A red like I like Pavara and she like we don't like very many reds. There's not a lot of reds that are likable.
Fair to say.
And she's okay. I like her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Androl's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that you call them
So-
little ray of sunshine.
Yeah, so whatever's happening at the Black Tower is bad. And it's because Taim sucks. So
Yeah. Can we talk about my favorite thing though?
yeah, what is it? Lan?
Another one of my favorite things. Yeah, it's Lan.
Lan.
Lan and then Nynaeve's trickery.
Collecting followers that like
Yeah.
happens super slowly throughout the whole book.
It's like the one scene you get where it's like, and one becomes two, and then like two
Yeah, yeah.
becomes five, and then five is like 1,000, and
Yeah,
then he's like,
dozens. Or
"Fuck."
so, yeah. It's not.
I know.
But yeah,
And
and then the
Lan-
next time you see him, there's like literally
Lan's,
like
he's never
20,000.
happy. He's never happy about it.
I love it. I
He
love
hates
Lan, and I love that he hates, but he accepts his role in the end there.
No,
Sure.
Lan hates being a leader more than Perrin hates being a leader.
That's true. He does.
Yeah.
But at the very end, he does say, "I am a king," so
I'm
eat it.
I'm gonna change that a little bit. I think Lan hates being a symbol. I think
Sure.
Lan.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think from a leadership perspective, I think Lan that doesn't. But it's
He's
it's
like,
when,
fine, you can ride your horse near me,
I
but
don't know. I might
But
push
you're
back on
not
that. I think
following
he
me.
hates leadership too. He doesn't. I'm gonna push back on that a little bit here.
I mean,
At what point does he like? He's like a friend / mentor to Rand for a little bit, but like for the last 20 years, he's been Maureen's sidekick.
he's not a leader.
Yeah, we could.
He can
This
he
is a
can
good one.
do it.
A
He was a
Lan- that'd
leader
be
in the Aiel War.
I think
he
it'd be
can
fun to
do
come
it.
back and dissect Lan in the books.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. I like the idea.
I
of
think he
doing
just
that.
hates it though. He might also hate being a symbol.
But I think it's because of that symbol side of it. Like,
I can see that.
Maybe. Oh, so maybe I'll. So maybe this is my. Yes, maybe he doesn't want to be. I think he is a good one, whereas Perrin didn't know. There's like a difference between them. I guess I didn't like the maybe comparison of the two. I think they're completely different. But yes, maybe they
Sure,
share some
yeah.
of the
It was just
dislike
a joke.
of leadership.
I was just making
No,
a
I
joke.
was thinking about that. I was like, oh yeah, that's.
Be more
You
careful.
take
with your
everything
jokes.
so seriously.
Sorry.
Jokes.
I'll
Just
go back.
jokes, Matt.
I'll go back.
Yeah, it is kind of funny though. Like for Perrin being a leader, like Lan has a history of like all of his experience, and then Perrin stumbles and bumbles his way through things sometimes.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, and it's a lot of like Ta'Veren-ness does a lot of the heavy lifting, I think, with parents sometimes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Of things have to happen, so it happens.
Yeah, fair. Want to
Okay.
know what was like not really bad, but kind of unnecessary?
Okay.
Tom and Maureen getting married.
Yeah. Did you? I mean, was it like?
Like after all of that, like, ugh. And she has like no power left, so like that sucks.
But she has a super powerful Angriel, so it's cool.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess so. Also, Perrin's dumb trial.
Okay. Yeah.
Pretty unnecessary. Also, Perrin's training montages in the dream world.
You said that already.
No, I know, but I'm still saying it's still in the unnecessary.
Just having
category.
Perrin. Can we just cut Perrin completely? Can we just like get rid of him? We don't need him as a character.
Parents' dumb trial. I like it.
Yeah.
And you know what we never get enough of? Forsaken.
That's true. That's true.
More Forsaken meetings, please. I want to know what they're up to. I want to see, even if it's vague and short and we just get like little snippets into what's going on. I want more of it. Like there's never enough for me.
Yeah.
I'm like, where are the Forsaken? What are they doing?
Yeah, it's one thing I think the TV show did really well. Is the Forsaken side of like keeping the story moving and making it interesting
with what they're doing and what's happening.
See them doing stuff,
yeah, because then their schemes and their plots and everything that they're doing isn't so much of a mystery. Like it doesn't have to be a mystery. It can be mysterious, like we're not quite sure what's this and this, but it doesn't have to be like they were never here and we have no idea what they're doing and then all of a sudden they're here.
Where is D-Man? Is he with the Borderlanders?
No clue.
Probably. Him and Grendel are
somewhere
doing something.
Somewhere. We have a whole thing.
Yeah.
And also,
never
you know what
Forsaken.
else could have been in this book, even just like for 1 minute? Loyal and the Ogiers.
Yeah.
What the heck? But Brett brought up a good point, and probably they haven't even started their meeting yet because they're Ogiers.
Yeah.
So.
It takes time.
Yeah. What you're saying is we got this wedding thing and we got this trial thing. Give me a little bit of Loyal and the Ogiers.
Yeah.
And Forsaken.
Yeah. And Forsaken.
There's like pieces that like I felt like we didn't really need, and then there were pieces where I was like,
yeah.
Where are these guys?
It's like have 3 less chapters on training montage and wedding and trial, and add like 3 chapters of like Forsaken scheming.
Well, and the drawn out, like how long is it going to be until we get to this trial? I think that's where it really lost.
Because it was always like, oh, we're going to push it back. That actually does happen. It's like 3 separate
I actually
instances.
thought we were never going to have a trial.
There's several instances where it's like, we're going to have the trial, and then it's like, no, we're going to push it back. Okay, we're going to do it today. No, we're going to push it back 1 more day. Okay, we're going to push it back.
Oh no, because of the bubble of evil where all the weapons come alive.
Yeah, it's like
and
literally
then they're
that.
Like, send word to the White Cloaks that we need a little bit of time because
push it back a couple weeks.
A bunch of our people died and stuff. So
I get we need bubbles of evil and stuff, but like, can we just not this?
Yeah.
Or just like proceed anyways.
Like Penny said, don't be hasty.
Don't be hasty. And someone also said Ogier is plural, so I shouldn't say what did I say? Ogiers?
Probably.
Ogiers.
Where are the Ogiers?
That's good. Other things to mention for good and the bad and the unnecessary.
I'm done my list.
Yeah, I think
we covered a lot.
Yeah. It is like as we're going through this, I'm like, oh my god.
Oh, okay.
So
Hold on.
What?
Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah. Also in this book, Dane Bornhald kills Bayar.
Oh shit.
To save Perrin. That's one of the big events that happens in the middle of all that stuff.
That does happen.
Yeah, because the whole thing is like Perrin's a dark friend, and then Galad's like, what's the evidence? And Bayar's like, I seen him be a dark friend, man. And then it's like, wait, what? And then Dane has this whole thing where he's like, okay, maybe turns out Bayar didn't actually have any evidence that he's a dark friend and killed my dad. Maybe he's not. And then Bayar's like, I'm going to kill you. And then Dane kills Bayar.
And then doesn't feel good about it.
It doesn't, well, no, because he just killed his friend. And that was Glad's point of thing is like, yeah, well, he probably isn't happy because he did just have to kill his own friend, even if his friend's kind of a dick sometimes.
Although,
Yeah.
is Bayer really anyone's friend?
Well, by proximity, right?
By proximity.
They're work associates. I know sometimes we might want to kill our work associates, but you still might feel bad about it immediately after.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Immediately.
Give it a couple days, maybe not so much.
Okay.
But...
Also, you know the only thing Fael does in this book is befriend Barrelane.
Oh yeah.
So that people lay off Perrin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on. I like Fael. I think like at this point I think that you could be doing Let's go.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, okay. One other thing that I like that Rand did.
Oh yeah, could you tell me?
Again, because this is like a kind of a feel good Rand. No Rand perspectives, but we get to see him doing cool things and being cool, like being like a good dragon. Okay. He returns to Bandar Eben and tells the Dockmaster, hey, all these bags of grain aren't actually bad. You just opened all the wrong ones. The rest of them are good.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it's cool.
Nice, I guess.
I like it. And it's like a feel good, and he gets like the city back. It's just, I like when my boy feels good.
Sure.
And people like him.
Yeah.
So
it was a much better Rand book in that way.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Okay. Other things before we move on.
I think that was pretty good.
I think that those were my big ones.
Anything that you picked up on? Were you reading any summaries or?
There is something, but I need to go back and confirm that it's not in another book. So I'll go look it up if I have time and see if it's there. There's one thing you didn't bring up that I was like, okay. I can understand maybe why you don't bring it up, but okay. But yeah, I need to confirm.
Tell me what it is?
Well, now I have to confirm. I have to go confirm that it's not actually something that happens somewhere else. So I will look into that.
Just message me. Just message me. I'll tell you.
I'll try to. I'll ping you something. By the way, I threw you another kind of reply, Brett, when you have a second at Discord.
So many things.
Okay. Next up, everyone, how it should have ended. It sounds like to me you kind of like how this book kind of worked its way out and kind of left you to some cliffhangers. Do you have like do you have kind of a how in your mind was it a flawed ending? Should it have ended differently? Like where
I don't think the ending was flawed. I think I liked how it ended, but I also predicted that it would end in a different way, and I actually would have liked that too.
Yeah, tell him that one. I like this
one. Okay, so
if it's the one I think it is.
The Daryl K-Sweet cover is probably the most accurate cover.
Yeah.
In all of the covers of like the thing actually happening. And so I was like, okay, this is clearly Noel, Tom, and Matt.
It's like actually the three people who are actually there.
And they're clearly trying to enter it magically.
Yeah. If anything, there should have been like two other people on that cover that actually weren't there.
Right.
But it's like, I don't know.
Or we could have been like drawing a circle on it. And it's like, well, that's not how that happened. Right. So could have been anything. Anyway, so I saw that almost right from the beginning, and I was like, oh, good. This is clearly, we're getting to the Tower of Genja, and then we're getting further and further and further and further into the books, or the book, and I was like, listen, I don't think we're going to get actually into this tower. I think we're going to get up to the tower, and I really thought we were going to end on this cliffhanger of opening it and going in.
Yeah,
and then it would, and then we wouldn't get like the actual adventure.
Like, can
scene.
We save Moraine cliffhanger for the book? Yeah,
and then my theory was either the epilogue or the prologue for the next book would be a flashback from Moraine's perspective.
Okay.
Of what happens after she went through the tower.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I thought that would be so.
Yeah, like seeing Moraine's perspective would be really neat in the tower. Like even if she's like sort of conscious or whatever.
Yeah,
we
like
get
what
some,
happened, like what she went, like just from. I thought that's kind of how we would get confirmation that she's still alive and in there without a full rescue, and also find out how she's still alive and like what happened. Whereas what we actually got was her in a campfire story time
Yeah.
just sort of telling them what happened.
Yeah.
Which unreliable narrator, I don't know, like maybe like because we don't actually like see what actually happened, and so there's like some things up in the air. So I think I would have liked almost like that Moraine or even in as a prologue or an epilogue in the last book, a perspective of Moraine in the Finn world.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that would have been cool.
Yeah. One thing that I did like too with the whole tower rescue, you had brought it up, but so Matt uses his luck obviously in the tower, and we see him doing the dice and then spinning in circles. I like the idea that you had of like getting to see Matt do a bunch of different options than just doing because he loses the dice.
I was like, at some point, this isn't lucky.
And then
anymore,
he only does
right?
spinning. He only does spinning for like a large majority of it. But it's like, show me different lucky things that happen to
like
go
he
on.
Trips and falls down. And his head smashes through. Oh, well, this is actually a doorway,
or
not
something.
a wall.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Like that feels luckier than just like spinning
and then going this
spinning
way.
and pointing, spinning and pointing. Right.
Yeah.
Like I wanted more of these like haphazard
variations
of getting through.
Did it feel too short? I mean, it
felt
it was
rushed.
Did it?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
I think
overall.
so. I did. I think that the whole like rescue did feel a little rushed, and apart from losing Noel, it almost went like I know that there was like an obstacles here and here and here and there.
Yeah.
And the ending of having his Ashendari actually be the key was like pretty cool.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I do really like the Ashendari being the key, but again,
it almost felt too easy.
Too easy to is because it's like 2.5 chapters basically is the entire event, and we've waited for so long.
I think that is the issue.
The expectation of built up. We did our stats and it was like 348 chapters between Maureen leaving and her coming back.
No way.
So,
is that it?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
There's a lot of chapters between her leaving and her coming back. So there's some build up of you wanting this, like, I don't know, but
yeah.
Just having alternatives.
No, and I'll never complain about getting Maureen back. And I think that it was all really great and great. But if I get to choose how it would have ended, it might have been slightly different.
Okay, you got to put the thing that you think is the thing in the chat.
I will.
He's trying. He's trying to do that while also listening.
I'm asking. I'm asking. I'm asking the audience. Did you ever count the number of chapters between losing Maureen and Maureen returning?
Oh, I have so many stats on this too.
He got me an ice cream cake.
I'm so
he got me an ice cream cake.
I can't believe I never thought about like counting those.
Do you want to know? Okay, and for us, it was 1,380 days between us reading Maureen leaving and her coming back.
Oh, Dana, that's actually a really good point. Matt loses an eye.
Oh yeah, Matt loses an eye.
Oh duh. That's actually the most shock. That's shocking. For sure.
Yeah.
But again, it's one of those things where he lost an eye, but what's the
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Like Ran lost a hand. And has that really mattered very much?
It's really I do love that both boys had the exact same thought process of like,
now I don't know how to fight anymore.
I'm gonna have to figure out this fighting thing again a little bit here.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate that.
To be fair, in this poll, I responded and answered yes. So I probably shouldn't have done that. I skewed the results.
You skewed the results. No, that's
and you didn't. For the record, she did not count. I counted.
I might have.
I counted. I did the math.
I might have done it. I did it for you. I answered for you.
There you go. I gotta.
Give up half the light of the world to save the world, and I guess that means Moraine is going to save the world, right?
Allegedly, it better.
She better save the whole world.
Because then, if she doesn't, then it's like, what's the point of me giving up an eyeball for you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now I'm just waiting. So Ran lost his left hand.
Mm-hmm.
Matt lost his left eye, and now Perrin needs to lose his left foot.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. That's how I know he's not listening.
Is that one of your theories? That's gonna happen?
It's a theory. Yeah.
Okay.
Except I've seen Matt cosplay and Matt pictures where he's wearing an eye patch.
Yeah. Which I mean, we've talked about this too. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean that he's he had his eyeball plucked out by a magical
No,
being.
I had no idea.
Like it could be a battle wound, it could be a temper. He's worn a scarf wrapped around his face.
Well,
at the
I
beginning of the
thought
series.
Rand
Like-
was gonna like because Min also
Yeah.
has an eyeball. Like she sees something about
Like on a scale, yeah.
Yep.
Matt's eye and Rand's hand or something. And I said he was gonna lose a hand to shed blood on Shale Ghul rocks.
Mhm.
Right.
That prophecy, which he lost a hand, but like nothing like that.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I thought Matt would lose an eye also, like last battle or like something. Not
Yeah.
this, but then it happened, and I was like, oh, okay, you know.
So do you think Perrin's gonna lose something?
Yeah, his left leg, maybe. You know.
You have any other? You're going with that one? The pirate. Put
The
a
peg leg,
Put a
yeah.
peg leg in.
I think that Perrin will just die.
Perrin and
Perrin's gonna
Peg,
lose his
No.
left life.
This isn't what you want to happen. It's what you think will happen.
No, I think that's fair.
Well,
like
more people are gonna have to die. It's the last battle, right?
I mean, I think the whole tower, like wanting, and this, I think it's a difficulty with a long season, like or a long series of books. There's so much buildup. It's really hard to ever like hit it in a way that's going to be satisfactory because you're like, I was waiting 500 or 300 whatever chapters before this happened, and it's like, well, you can't spend 7-8 chapters. Like there's other things going on. The story's too big.
Yeah.
Just like to what you guys have just described of like all the good and the bad, notable, shocking.
Yeah.
It's like, and that's still a huge book. Like Towers of Midnight, it's like 50 some odd chapters. It's a huge
It's
book.
a lot.
Yeah.
And
it's
you're
a
like,
big one.
Oh
And-
yeah. Well, Penny said Perrin's left. I think that's an onion. Like, he can lose an onion. That's fine. Like,
left onion.
there's lots of things.
There's lots of things.
Yeah.
What other? Are there other things? I mean, you focus on the tower from a. How do you think it should?
Oh
end? Is
yeah.
there
Well,
anything
that's mostly
else?
because that was like the ending, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool that Egwene. We skimmed past it because Egwene did defeat Masana. Like that was a big thing that happened in this book
Yeah.
too.
That was fantastic.
Masana in the tower,
Yeah.
revealed as Dani. Dani in the tower is Masana.
That's true. Yeah, that's.
That's
man.
me.
That is you. You were the
Okay,
you were
listen,
Masana
I have
all
an
along.
updated Forsaken list
Right.
Okay.
in my
Okay.
notebook. So we have Alive for show. So we have Moradin alive,
Mhm.
Okay.
Demandred alive, and we
Okay.
have Sindane as Lanfear
Mhm.
and Moghedien, who are both mind trapped,
Right.
and they're alive, but mind trapped.
Yeah, two of them are mind trapped.
and then
It's, like,
also in the epilogue, we get a really sad Lanfear.
really sad Lanfear. Yeah.
Very sad.
Yeah.
Actually. And then Grendel is kind of in the same boat as
Is she as the
As-
mind trapped ones? You mean?
kind of. That's what it kind of
Yeah.
feels like.
Yeah, because like Moghedien and Sindane
She's
slash
not
Lanfear, they're
dead,
not really
but-
doing anything right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Except on Moradin's orders, if that. But like for Grendel, I think there was a question about her too, right, Matt?
Yes. Oh, there is a question. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the way I'm waiting. So this question came in. I think I can actually go find it. Hold on a second. It didn't hit at the right time. I didn't want to like, but now
Yeah.
it's kind of where
We're
it is. So-
backtracking, right?
Night Runner, thank you very much for your tip. Said, does Dani think Grendel will have a mission in A Memory of Light, and if so, what will her task be?
All right.
Oh.
So that's going to involve a few steps.
Sorry, I don't know how you type and also listen to things that are happening.
You missed some things.
Is there gonna be a mission? No.
Yeah, like is she coming back? Is she going to get a mission to do something? Because
No.
her mission, she's kind of been playing it cool where it's like, I
No.
have an idea, I have this plan, and then she doesn't actually have plans. And then at the end, she kind of gets called on the fact that her plans suck. So
Yeah, she's like, no, this is just part 3 of my 75
I
point plan.
meant to fail.
I meant for Perrin to move the dream spike and then cause Masana's death.
Yeah, it's like, wait, that's not
I
better.
meant for that to
That's
happen.
worse.
Don't worry. The next, and she's like thinking of escaping to like a portal stone world.
Yeah.
She's like, maybe they can't get me there. So like, that's funny.
Yeah.
So we're thinking No.
By the way, I love that she thought that whole like escape to a portal stone world. That was like old theory stuff from like that felt
just a reminder that
it's a
those
nice
exist.
callback too. Yeah.
No,
It's
it
like,
felt like a callback.
remember portal stones exist in this world?
It's funny because portal stones are actually used in this book too, bringing in the shadow spawn that were attacking the white cloaks. That Perrin had to go and say they had a male channeler that was like bringing in shadow spawn through a portal stone.
Not a waygate? Oh no.
No, it was a portal stone.
Trollocs
Yeah.
can't move through waygates.
I forgot that.
Not
so.
waygates. No,
Gateways.
gateways.
They can't move through. They can move through waygates, but it was like through a portal stone that it was like they were thinking they were bringing them through. Yeah,
See?
it's like there's two
mean,
callbacks of portal stones.
Two callbacks. I mean, yeah, two callbacks that it felt very much like okay. I like the nod. I like the nod. To,
in a good way.
To the fandom in that way. Those were good two callbacks. So
okay, here are some Forsaken that are dead AF. Like we know they're dead.
So we have like 2 in play, 2 mind trapped, and then Grendel.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Okay, so we have Bilal, definitely dead.
For sure.
Ravine, that guy's so dead.
Okay.
Semirog, definitely dead.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm listing off Suki Stackhouse novels.
Nice.
Erengar, Halima, Balthamel.
Yeah.
That's like hyphenated.
Yeah.
Dead as a doornail.
For sure. Those are like balefire deaths, basically, and like.
Yeah.
For
okay. Yeah. And then, so the Erengar, so that gets confirmed this book.
Yeah.
Masana.
Okay. I mean, right.
Brain dead, for sure.
Yeah.
I think they actually kill her too, don't they? Or she just like drooling on herself and shitting herself. Like that's like that's sorry.
Okay, so she's done.
She's done.
She's out.
And then we get that because like, Asmodean has always been in my limbo land.
Sure.
Okay.
Because I was never really sure if that guy's like for sure dead.
Right.
Or if he's getting brought back.
Oh, but now is he on your for sure dead?
I think he's on my for sure dead list.
Because
because Shadow Haran was like, Grendel, you killed that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably Balefire.
Yeah. We need 2 more. Well.
Okay, and then I have 2 more who are in my probably gone.
Yeah.
/ limbo land.
Okay.
Samael.
Okay.
Because we're still not quite sure.
Yeah, he was near limbo
if
land
that guy's
last
dead
time.
or not.
Okay.
Like we think maybe, but like also maybe not.
Okay.
And then Osingar -- Shiva -- Agenor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who was at the cleansing battle, right?
Yeah.
And got kind of blasted, but not by Balefire. So we're not sure if that guy's gonna come back.
Yeah.
Transmigration style.
Okay. So we kind of got a 5
so
on
that
the table
guy's
right now.
in Limbo Land.
So we got 5.
I think we're missing one. Who am I thinking?
I think she got them all. I counted.
Yeah,
13.
I probably did. I just probably didn't take like a note on that. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry.
Yeah, I have
we
13.
We got Moradin.
Yeah.
We got
Yep.
Demandred. We got 2 Mind Trap, which are
Sindane and Mogi.
and Mulgedian. And
We have
then Grendel is a question mark because we didn't see her
alive,
die.
but also a problem? Probably no.
Yeah. Right.
And then dead. Bilal, Ravine, Semirog,
Oh
Erengar.
yeah, I have all 13. Yeah.
There you go.
I counted wrong when I. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
You know, and it's not bad because like I think halfway through the series, it's like they all kept coming back, and it's like we haven't really taken anybody off the table.
Is
Moradin, yeah.
Moradin.
Yeah. But now we only got 5 left out of 13 coming into the last book. So like that's not terrible.
Yeah. By the way,
That's actually like
I agree with Penny here. I love that Dani knows transmigration. Yeah. You used transmigration. That was really cool. It's like
that's because of you. You told me that.
Yeah.
Transmigration. Yeah. You're like
I wouldn't know that otherwise. That's not a real word I know, you know.
No, but now it is. It's in your vocabulary.
Now
I
it's
like
a
it.
real word. It's in my real life vocabulary. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good list, and still like 1 book left. That's a lot of Forsaken.
I'm glad
still.
it's a thick guy. It's a thick book.
Yeah, Memory of Light. I can't remember as compared to all of the lengths of the books where that is, but yes, it's a.
Okay, I have a question because well for you. So there's 5 Forsaken at play. Are we doing predictions here? Can we do predictions?
Yeah, I mean, how it ended? Or we feel like how it should have ended? Or are we still in there?
No, we're good.
Okay, so yeah, I mean,
well, we get the whole like Fields of Marilor, like we're all hanging out.
It's a little bit. It's
Ram
not
shows
as,
up and nothing happens. So.
It's not as big of a like big end. Like the big ending happens a couple chapters back with I feel the Tower Genji.
Yeah.
Right, but we don't have the last couple books have been like big, explosive, like the cleansing and like all these different huge battle sequences, but we don't.
I feel
really
like
have
some
that.
of the things that happened in the epilogue should just be chapters in the book,
you know,
and that could be the ending, because the epilogue.
There's so much stuff that happens.
Great. Tons of stuff
like
happens
that
to really wrap things up. But like, why are we calling it an like? I just
yeah.
Not
I mean,
for me.
yeah. I mean, and like you said, I think it is time.
Yeah, let's predict those leaves.
I mean, this is the moment. Like, this is it, Dani. Then
this is
there's
really
the
stressful
final
for me.
The final book. Like, it's kind of wild to be at this point of this discussion, and
It's a little bit crazy
to be in this moment. Yeah, this is it. This is like your final kind of like
you don't get to predict anything else after this. This is it.
Like this is it. Like your first walk
feel
through.
like kind of sad.
I mean, it's not sad. It's just like
no, it's so sad.
Okay, it is a little bit sad, but what's on your list? What are you predicting?
Well, I can't even predict Moraine anymore. That's my go-to.
Yeah,
I know.
At some point,
okay, my prediction is Moraine is going to save the world. How about that?
Terrible.
No.
Boo.
No.
Okay.
Boo.
Are you really? Is that on your list? Moraine saves the world.
Yeah, she's gotta. Okay. That's why Matt lost an eye.
Okay, Moraine saves the world. Okay.
Okay, of the 5, there's 5 Forsaken
Unless
left.
It's Tom.
Don't ignore me. She's ignoring me.
We had to leave.
You have to answer. There's 5 Forsaken.
Yeah, okay.
Who, if any, or all, who is dying and by whom?
Okay. They're all gonna die.
Oh, because Mulgadian's still on the table. And your favorite prediction? Who's killing Mulgadian?
Nynaeve.
I love it. That's been on the table for a while.
Long time.
Yeah.
Okay. Next.
Listen, Moonshadow. I'm only sad because I'm not gonna get to predict more things with Matt on the Dusty Wheel ever again.
I mean,
I'm sad. It's sad.
I don't think that this isn't spoiler. And remember that as like.
You always scare me when you preface it like that.
I already read New Spring, Penny.
No offense, bud. And then you're gonna say something offensive.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say this to you. I'm gonna write you, Brad, on this. You tell me. One second.
Okay,
let me ask you.
So, and I want to know who's.
So, Brett, can I say that, or no?
Hold on.
You want me not to say that?
Oh yeah, I've told her that. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, yeah. So this isn't like spoiler to say like.
Yeah.
It's not like every single thing and every answer is known.
Not every answer of every question that you ever had is going to be.
When we do this after Memory of Light, we'll still be doing a prediction kind of discussion.
You'll just never have an answer.
That is horrible.
No, it's not. What do you mean? The whole concept of like Theoryland is that there's theories. The worst thing, like I'll tell you this, like when they gave that whole, we talked about the Who Killed Asmodean thing, I was like, you just ruined like a conversation that would go on for generations upon generations upon generations of people that read this series. Like, why? It's actually like, to me, like not knowing would have been so much more fun in that case than the knowing. The knowing is kind of like an end that is like it's absolute, and that kind of sucks. Like, so to me, like I agree. Like, oh wait, we can't ever know, but the can't ever know means like. The next time you read through, or the next conversation you have,
you can't prove me wrong. Can't prove my theories wrong. Then.
Yeah.
So
right. I mean, to me, it's to me that's I get the feeling of that, but to me that also is the fun of it at the very end. So
I know it's just it feels like the end of an era a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, you're avoiding the question.
Agreed.
Okay,
so
let's go through the Forsaken.
Yeah.
Morden. What's happening to Morden? Go.
Oh, Rand's killing that guy.
Nice. Okay.
Okay.
It has to. Right?
Ultimate showdown. Makes
Did
sense.
You say right?
Shamael versus
right?
Rand.
Right?
Right?
Right? Right, guys? Right, guys? Are we right? Yeah. Cool.
Right.
Totally. Okay. Demandred. What's happening to Demandred?
Well, someone's gonna have to kill him.
Maybe, but yeah. So who? That's the question. Like, if they're gonna die, who's killing them?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Two Rivers Man number 3 in the background.
No. Well, okay. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
Because in my head, we have to die by Balefire, otherwise, there's a chance of coming back.
Sure.
However, if we kill a Forsaken regularly and then just like defeat the Dark One,
then it doesn't matter.
that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So if
be
like
anybody.
Demandred like takes an arrow to the chest by like
Two Rivers man number 3.
exactly
Me. Yep.
you,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, who's killing Demandred?
I don't know.
You have
Someone
to say
good,
something.
probably. Perrin.
Perrin is going to kill Demandred. Okay.
Someone bad, I mean.
Sindane / Lanfear. What's happening to Lanfear?
I think she'll live.
You think she's going to live?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah,
Cool.
because she actually doesn't want to be on the dark side. She just like didn't like losing her boyfriend.
We all been there. We've all been there. It's
Mhm.
fine.
hmm
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Then we got Mogedian.
Yeah,
so
I don't
you
think
said-
Lanfear's dying.
Yeah. So you
So who
said
did you-
Nynaeve.
Who did you just say killed Demandred?
Perrin. She said Perrin. I don't know if she
know.
believes it though.
I don't believe anything.
I think she might change that on our when we do our book recap.
it's,
She might change
you know
this.
who it is? Cad Swing.
I love it.
Cad Swain kills Demandred? Okay.
I love that. You know.
Okay.
Okay. Mogedian, you said Nynaeve. You're still cool with that?
Oh, 100%. And Nynaeve's also gonna die.
Killing
Yeah.
Mogedian.
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh yeah. Nynaeve's going out. Like I don't think she's surviving to the end.
Okay.
But I think it'll be in a very like heroic way.
Yeah.
Like there's several of them have to die that way.
Sure.
Because we're not all making it. This
Yeah.
isn't Disney.
Yeah.
Right?
Be like a
Well,
Bill
no, only
Murray,
parents
Zombieland
die.
Destiny, yeah.
Only parents die when you watch Disney. So
That's true. Rand's mom is dead. Just
Yeah.
for the
That's right.
Let's be real.
Um,
And then-
Grendel
Grendel, if she is
dead somehow. Also.
just like not coming
oh,
back.
she'll definitely just like die somehow.
Okay. So
Yeah.
so it doesn't matter. Yeah. You know what? I like that.
Grendel somehow dies. That's
Dies.
where we're at. Okay.
They all have to, right? I mean, like,
Okay. Last time we saw Tuon
oh
as Fortuona.
no, I don't want to.
She
talk
was
about
like, "Hey,
Tuon.
we've got gateways now. Let's go and basically destroy the White Tower."
Yeah, I think the White
Let's do that.
Tower is like
How do you feel about the White
going
Tower?
fucking down. Like, how are they going to even stop that?
Well, see, the White Tower has these really complex defense plans about Aes Sedai doing defense stuff, and
They do nothing. They've
And
had a
war
Green
and-
Aja for literal like centuries, and they've done nothing with them. They haven't taught them how to fight even a little bit.
right.
Yeah.
But remember that
so-
first time that the Shanshan attacked, and then you remember that? I'm just
Mm-mm.
trying. Oh no, okay, all right.
Mm-mm. If Nynaeve dies, what happens to Lan, Dani? Don't worry, Lan's dying too.
In this charge that we saw him making,
Dang.
because it was like 12,000 versus like
Yeah,
150,000.
don't freaking worry. They'll both
It's
be dead.
fine. They're fine.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah. Like Lan's pretty resigned to death.
Like,
That's
what are we
been his
gonna
whole thing.
like? You know what? Oh, everything's gonna be lovely, and then Lan and Nynaeve are just gonna go off and have babies together. Like,
Yeah,
no,
They'd be
come
friggin'
on.
be friggin' adorable babies. Okay.
Yeah, they would, but like, no.
Okay. What is the
Yeah.
what is the prediction that we're talking about here?
So many. I have no idea what's
Yeah,
happening.
we're saying it all right now.
I'm hearing like well, what was the Tawan one? Was like
White Tower's gonna
oh,
get destroyed,
Oh yeah,
right?
Okay.
That's definitely gonna be a
Like
thing.
the Shanshan are gonna mess up the White Tower.
You
pretty
know
bad.
what I'm still a little bit holding on to, even though it's not realistic at all, is that Tuon is gonna have a change of heart
Oh yeah.
and be like, you know, I can channel, and that means I'm not an animal. So like,
I've seen the errors of my ways.
Yeah. yeah, like at some point, because
Yeah.
Tom even slyly brought it up with Matt at the end when they were talking to Moraine and doing catch-up time. And she's like, how did you accidentally marry the Empress of the Shanshan? And then he's like, oh, it's fine. And then Tom says, well, can she channel? Right? And they
Mhm.
kind of do a,
Yeah.
don't forget, Tuon can channel if she wants to learn. So
Yeah.
maybe.
So you're not counting on the change of heart, or you are not counting on it, or you are counting.
I
on it?
am counting on
You're
it.
counting on Tuon's change of heart.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what else I'm counting on? Avienda changing the entire course of time. She's gonna
Okay.
run in at the last moment, like, you know, at the wedding when they say, "Does anyone object she's gonna like run in, burst in through the doors. I object.
I love it. Yeah.
Mostly to the dragon piece, right? Like that's
Sure.
the thing she has to object to.
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, because on the Avienda thing, we got to see a lot about the Aiel and not accounted for, and the peace treaty isn't actually very good. Just nations suck.
Okay, so you think that Avienda does what? She's gonna.
She's definitely gonna affect the course of time.
Wow, look at that. Predictions with Dani.
Avienda affects the course of time.
Things happen differently because they will be different.
Making things happen differently. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. live a faith. Dani's like, don't. This is torture to go through.
And then let's do our big main characters here, I guess. So Matt
lives.
Matt lives. Okay. Does he do anything spectacular?
Of course, he's Matt.
What's his main? What does he do? What's the thing?
Fights people and wins.
Okay.
He's Matt. Like, what else is he gonna do? Lead battles, like win battles.
Yeah, it's he's son of battles.
That's what he's gonna do.
Okay, cool. I like him. Perrin and Fael.
Probably live.
Even though you want them
to die.
Okay.
Perrin might die. And then he can like join Hopper. And
that'd be cute.
Oh, you know what? I think Perrin's probably gonna like die in the regular world, but then he can like be a wolf in the dream world or something.
Pause. You had a prediction.
Pause. Like a wolf has pause.
No, you had a prediction about Brigida.
Okay.
You did.
What was it?
I don't remember. You said it on our podcast. I can't remember. It was something.
You had a prediction.
Brigida
had a prediction about something.
Is it that Brigida's going to do something cool and die in some way, and then go back to being a hero of the Horn somehow?
It was like that. I think you phrased it better.
Yeah, well, that's.
But I can't remember what you said. She's gonna die and then also still be a hero.
Well, because Elaine is also probably gonna die.
Oh, you didn't
giving birth to twins on Dragon Mountain.
That would make sense because the kids will be fine.
I already said she's gonna give birth on Dragon Mountain.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the kids will be fine. She will die because the viewing was that the kids will be born healthy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's only fair.
Didn't say anything about Elaine.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Rand.
Die.
Okay.
Saving the world, of course.
Yeah, of course, naturally.
Like he's gonna defeat the Dark One.
/
whatever
Morden,
that
because
means.
you just said he's gonna kill Morden.
Well, Morden isn't the Dark One though. He's got to kill Morden and then get to the Dark One.
I know that Morden isn't the Dark One. I know that.
Anyway, so he's gonna do it, but then he has to die. Like this is no boy who lived crap.
Okay.
None of that.
Okay.
He better die.
Okay.
He better. He better.
What
in
about,
a good way, though, you know?
Egwene?
Like body.
Egwene will live.
What? I have a question.
What?
Because you're all about like seeing bodies and stuff. Like if I don't see the body die, then it's like not.
I feel like it's different at the end of a series. When I know the series is done,
okay,
then it doesn't matter anymore.
So we need to see Rand's dead body, and you don't care if you see Rand's dead body. Okay.
If it's implied that he's dead, I'll be fine. As long as we don't see like 19 years later or any bullshit like that.
Yeah. I get it. Okay, it's good.
Like he can't just be like living a happy life.
I understand what you're saying. I get it.
At the end of all this,
I get it.
Like he's crazy.
Why not? And also rude because like of all people who deserve to have like some time off, like a fucking vacation, it's Rand. He's had a real rough 2 years. It's like the worst years of his life.
Who else among? Did we talk Nynaeve? Did we already say? Did you
dying to Moghedien?
Yeah.
And Lan is also dying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Separately though, probably.
Separately, yeah.
But they love each other, you know. It's fine.
Maureen is saving the world, but then
living,
okay, with her new.
Look, everybody can't die.
That's true.
I mean,
that's true.
Probably.
Okay.
I'm just saying. Like at this point, I'm just like saying things. I have no idea.
We covered all. And then of course Oliver, because the cliffhanger was Caelan's under
that
attack.
guy's dying.
Caelan's under attack,
Oh,
and Oliver
dying.
is
He's
like,
running right into the middle of a troll tunnel.
I'm going to be brave, and I'm going to get my biggest knife, and I'm going to go join the battle against the Trollocs. So this 10-year-old boy is not making it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, somebody thinks that your poker face is excellent, Matt.
It helps that I'm listening to the song that I'm.
He's not even listening to what I'm saying.
He's not even listening. There you go.
Yeah,
I'm listening to both ears to a couple things.
Sure, yeah. You got it.
What did we say about Oliver?
Oh, he's
Oliver's
dead.
dying.
He's already dead, probably.
Oliver's dying immediately.
That guy's already dead.
Yeah.
And, like, it's fine because Matt can't, like...
Ooh, Dallas
be
wants
a
to know,
parent.
what about Bella? Is Bella surviving this series?
Where is Bella even? I don't even care. Yes.
Okay. Pretty sure she was with Swan at this point.
Swan.
Because, like, Bella's like a super
Swan
tame...
and Bryn are, like, together now. That's
Yeah. And they had the whole thing where they got to stick together, otherwise they will die.
Oh, yeah, there was this vision.
Yeah, that was a whole thing. Are they making it?
Yeah, probably.
You gotta say something.
I don't even know. Like,
Danny looks so
just
sad.
Go through every character.
I can do
Is
whatever
this
I
done
want.
yet? Like, I'm not having fun anymore.
about-
Danny's
what
like,
about
can we move on to the
Bandit?
next
What about-
topic? Let's get to the next
We
topic.
haven't gone through the wise ones even yet.
Oh my gosh.
No,
Yeah, so I
no.
mean, let's leave it. Let's leave it to Danny here. Who haven't we called out, or is there anything that like
Padden
you think?
Ooh.
Oh,
I know you said leave it to Danny, but
Yeah.
Haddon Fane is a big weird one.
yeah,
Yeah.
big question mark.
I don't know. And I like that I don't know. That
Okay.
guy's a weird one. I mean, like, he has to be defeated.
Does he though?
Yeah.
Does he though?
Yes.
Okay. What does it has to be defeated mean for your prediction?
That doesn't matter. That's the prediction.
You don't make the rules here, Matt.
I can't.
Has
That's
to
it.
be
I just said
defeated.
it. He's defeated. There's no...
Has to be defeated.
Has to be.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it. Is there anybody else or any other kind of plot that you can think of where you have like an enduring theory?
Oh, we need to discuss what's going to happen with the stupid Ogier going to space or whatever
Yeah,
it is.
back to their home planet. Are the Ogier gonna open the Book of Translation and get on their spaceship and go back to their home planet?
No.
Okay.
Or are they
Loyal...
gonna...
I think that Loyal is going to save the day.
Okay. So they'll like stay and
I think that Loyal is gonna, like, we're gonna get the meeting and he's gonna bust in and be like, hey, we have to help humans. And they're
Okay.
gonna be like, you're so hasty, but okay. And
I love this.
then
This
they'll
is great.
and then they'll do it. And
Yeah.
like, some Ogier may die, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
I love it. It's great. Yeah.
Yeah, Egwene lives and that's all I said. Leave it there.
Just don't even worry about it.
Don't ask any more
Hey,
questions.
what about Gawain? Can Gawain die? Are we okay with that? Egwene lives, but Gawain dies? What about that? Is that cool? Is that cool with you?
If Gawain dies?
Yeah, and like so Egwene
Will
lives,
she be sad because they're water bonded?
but for a little bit, yeah.
Would she be sad for a little bit?
Oh, what? This had no impact on her at all? This is so crazy.
That's fair. Like, you've mentioned Elaine.
It's
Tell
true.
us
I
Gawain
totally
and
forgot to
Galad.
bring up Egwene.
No,
Okay.
I said already.
Did you? Okay. Yeah.
What did you say
Yeah.
about Gawain and Galad?
Dana gets my Lord Farquaad reference.
Yeah. Yeah. We get it. Okay.
What is what's
Egwene
the...
and Gawain, what's happening?
Egwene and Gawain?
Yeah. Answer quick because I have one more after this.
They live.
Cool. Happily ever after.
Yeah.
we are,
And probably have babies.
we're gonna be here
Love
all
it.
night.
Okay.
Okay. And now,
most
what
importantly-
about this wise one? What about this I said?
No. This is
No.
This is an
Egwene
important
will
one.
never have babies, and like, as is her right.
Yeah. She really doesn't like the idea of babies at all.
She hates them.
She hates the idea.
She hates babies. She's like, no, thank you.
So much so that it breaks her free from compulsion. Anyways. Okay. Galad and Berelain.
Uh-huh.
They must live.
Oh,
they
it's a
must
love
have babies.
connection.
Will their babies be beautiful as they are, or will they be ugly babies?
So beautiful.
Okay. Phew.
Yeah.
Because you know
So
the whole thing
beautiful.
where they're like, oh, beautiful
Yeah.
people might have ugly babies.
They
and, like,
don't.
vice versa.
They actually don't.
They just be more beautiful
Okay,
They
people.
don't.
Gilad
Have you
Berlane
seen
is a love connection.
Angelina and Brad Pitt's babies? Like,
They
No, actually.
they live and they have beautiful babies. Is that the?
Yeah, that's what it
course.
is.
like what? Why wouldn't they? You know, the leader of the White Cloaks. Like, why not? Why would he not live?
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
Cool.
I think
Love
all
it.
the White Cloaks are just getting wiped off the face of the earth. All
that
the White
takes
Cloaks.
care of that.
All the White Cloaks are gone forever.
Yeah.
All the way are gone forever.
This
Okay.
is the craziest amount of predicting you ever made me just like say.
It is. This is insane.
This is all so dumb. I'm so mad.
Because we've locked you in on these predictions.
Forever,
And then in 1 year, we'll be like,
forever and ever.
ha,
Except
remember
the
when you got
ones
this
that are
right?
right. I'll be like, look at all these predictions I got right.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Any other predictions that Danny doesn't want to make, but we want Danny to make?
Oh, there's a lot of comments, but we can't go through all of them. There's quite a few names that are popping up of like people you need to predict, but
Mm-hmm.
How
Yeah.
about oh yeah, what do you predict happens with the Shanchan?
Don't say it. Ugh, I knew you were gonna say that.
Tuon changes her ways,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and everyone
go back.
they go back to their
Um,
they go back across the ocean.
well,
What?
no, there's so many that have integrated. They brought
Yeah,
they brought their livestock,
Uh-huh.
which they should never have done.
invasive species.
Invasive
we know.
species, like
Yeah.
don't bring those here. That's just gonna wipe out all of our chickens. Thank you very much.
Mhm.
But that's, I guess not a problem we're dealing with here. We have too many other things to worry about. So, I mean, I guess they just have to change their ways. They have to be defeated in some ways. Hey, you know what I predicted last time? That King Beslan was actually just like playing
Right. You
that
did.
he's on the side of the Shanchan,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
really he's gonna be the Shanchan's downfall.
Interesting, because
Who is going to be the Shanchan's downfall?
Yeah,
Beslan,
Beslan. Beslan was
King Beslan, duh.
Tylan's son, who's like
Okay.
the biggest frat boy ever.
Yeah, he tried to start some fires and stuff.
Yeah, he rowdy, and now he seems to be like the one of the Shanchan. He's like playing by the rules.
Okay. Yeah. Any other ones you'd put in there before we would let you we let you off of the hook and move on?
He's exhausted.
I am. My brain hurts.
Yeah,
That was a lot of thinking.
Elida's so annoying. They send her back. She's the worst to mommy.
Because her name is Suffa,
Yeah,
because she's suffering.
yeah.
Yeah, she's annoying, but they'll break her. It'll suck.
Phew.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what to say to that.
No rescue plan for her.
No, okay.
Well, I
okay.
like how she's like, I'm the Amerlin seat. I can help you. But the worst part about Elida is when she tries to offer up other Aes Sedai.
Yeah, she's like, I'll give you 10, 20, I'll give you the most powerful channelers instead of me.
as
Like,
long as I can go free.
yeah.
And then we're like, you know what, Elida, you can just stay where you are.
yeah. She's the worst.
Trying to think if there's anything. Oh yeah, Shatter Haran.
Yeah, Shatter Haran, yeah.
Well, I guess that guy kind of has to die too.
Sure.
Can we
Okay.
just balefire him and his ugly face?
Well, I mean, even like hypothetically, like okay, so like he's like the right hand of
Are we
the
gonna have
Dark One.
any
so...
repercussions from all of this balefire? Remember how they're like, "Oh, don't use balefire."
They
Oh,
were,
it's
they
so
did.
bad,
They
so
did.
bad for the threads of the universe. Don't
Yeah,
use balefire.
pattern unraveling.
And then everybody's like,
something.
balefire, balefire, and like, I
Yeah.
don't see any bad things happening yet, except
No
for
consequences to balefire. I love it.
actually positive consequences. Avienda and Matt are alive
Write it down, Matt. Positive
because
consequences.
of balefire.
To balefire. I love it.
At the end of Fires of Heaven, there. Look at that nice wrap up.
You're like, you should be using it more. That's what you're saying.
More balefire.
More
that's
balefire.
That's what we
If
always
something
say.
bad happens, balefire, reverse it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't like that. You don't like
Well,
that thing that happened 5 minutes ago. Balefire.
Balefire.
No, but I totally feel what you're saying, Danny, about us asking you, okay, what about this? What about this? What about this? None of us had to like sketch it out beforehand. Although on Theoryland, we were certainly making our bets at the very
Sure,
end.
but like
I'm
for
making this
fun on
theory.
your like, you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I like talking about this right now.
You're like not at 12:30 in the morning or whatever it is for you guys. 11:30 in the morning or at night.
Oh, it's 9:30. We're still good.
Oh, is
we're
it 9:30 for
earlier.
you guys? Okay, good.
We're early. We're earlier than you.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
over on the west.
Well, it's only 9:30 for me too. I didn't realize that we were both at 9:30. Okay.
Can you post
Wait.
this comment?
Oh yeah.
Can you
Which one?
post this comment from the Nuts So Charles?
You want me to post this one? What kind of coffin illusion will Val and Luca use to help Rand trick the Dark One with dying by being cut in half only to miraculously... What is it? Hold on.
Be
Miraculously
resurrected.
be
Resurrected.
It's like the
and
whole like,
seal the
oh,
blow.
he cut him in half and moved the boxes around. Oh, Red's dead. I love it. That's fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that. That's good. No, we won't make you.
If
Yeah.
you don't
and
have,
is
like,
Val
if
and
you
Luca ever gonna get Nynaeve?
He's married, excuse me.
Val and Luca's married to someone other than Nynaeve now?
Yes. Rude.
I don't remember.
He is a good husband who has a wife
I don't remember that.
who I assume has a name. Yeah, it happened. It was a whole thing. He
knew
married.
that.
Yeah, he married the girl, the woman who was like, Nynaeve was like getting in fights with like the bear trainer lady, maybe.
Oh,
Yeah,
Really?
I can't remember her name.
I don't remember.
I love the circus so much.
Yeah, someone can put the name up there. I feel like I should know this, but
No, I mean, if you don't have like a theory that you're really holding on to, then
Are
you really
we
wanna-
at Matt and Step or
Step in Magnus?
put Rand in 2 boxes.
no? Don't
Oh,
put Rand in
no.
2 boxes.
That'd be the yeah.
Oh man.
His trauma couldn't handle that.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
wow.
try not to spoil anything this last moment. Okay, let's move on from move on from predicting the wheels.
What did I
wheels.
think of Nakomi? Weird fever dream. Hated it. Thought it was a Forsaken. It was weird, and I didn't
Yeah,
like
we
it.
didn't talk about Nakomi
And
at all.
also so unnecessary. It felt that put that in the unnecessary column.
I'm going back.
Nakomi, like what?
Nakomi, weird fever dream,
It's weird.
unnecessary.
See, I don't have to write it down because Matt's writing it down.
And this is recorded.
It's recorded,
That's
and we'll
true.
for sure go back and listen.
I always
mean-
go back and watch everything we do on here.
That's totally. We'll all rewatch this before.
Everybody,
Okay,
everybody always
so
rewatches everything.
we
that they
talked
do
about
online.
this, and I mean, we don't have to cover this topic if we don't want to, but this is the next topic that we
Is it
always
because the wound's
cover.
a little bit, still
Well,
open?
Yeah, I mean, keep or cut for TV.
This is like a wound that won't heal.
So
No
the-
thanks.
I mean, you're like, no, I don't want it. So we don't have to cover it if you're like, no, thanks. Or we can. Would you like to cover it or not? You guys.
Okay.
I
just
think we
wanna-
have
yeah,
to because
Well-
I think that we need to just
Yeah.
manifest that there will be a TV show that
sometime
covers
in
this
the
stuff.
sometime in the future, whenever if that is, we can come back and
Yeah.
review
Well,
this. So-
here's the issue, and we've talked about this a lot, at least between us two. I haven't felt the ramifications of the show being canceled yet.
I have. I'm sad.
Well, I have, but I also haven't because even if it was greenlit, I wouldn't see another season for like a year and a half.
Yeah, but then
probably.
we don't get all the
I know, but
fun stuff leading up to it.
It's still it hasn't really hit home yet. So
Yeah. So
one of the things we were talking about cutting, like previously you had said Morgate, cut Morgaze, but like then you get to see the TV show Morgaze, and she is so cool.
Oh, you
Now
know
you're
what
like-
we can talk about?
now you're
Things
like,
that I said before.
yeah.
Things that I said definitely cut that we know the show didn't cut, like the Shido and Couladin.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
great. I love that.
And, yeah, that turned out well. Like you said, Morgaze actually was more interesting than I thought. I was like,
Morgaze was so, and honestly, but like that could be her from the books, and it's just from Elaine's perspective,
Yeah.
and we don't see the cold.
You know what we can do?
You know.
Balefire, the Amazon Studios.
You're like, keep or cut Amazon.
Yeah.
So is there something that then we don't have to go really kind of revisit all of the previous cuts?
No.
Is there anything new this book, where you'd be like, yeah, drop that?
Well, we would have to get number 1, Moraine disappearing.
Yeah. I mean,
and then Moraine,
but the whole,
because I would want the Moraine rescue, but we haven't.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like when I think back about the things you didn't like, if I go back to, kind of the good, bad, and stupid, or unnecessary. Like, let's see, Tom and Moraine getting married.
Oh no,
Cut
that would be for sure cut.
Perrin's trial.
Dumb.
Yeah, I like those little
Not
things
necessary.
I can see.
Yeah,
they're not critical to the Perrin with the trial. That was like for his internal healing. Same with the Noam reveal that we got, that Noam was boundless. That happens this book.
Right.
Like there's a bunch of little things.
Noam the Wolfman from book 3. We get that reveal this book.
Yeah, and then Perrin can finally be like, oh, I don't have to go full wolf. I can just be me.
And I was like, man, everyone's already been telling you that, bud.
Yeah, we've been saying that since the beginning.
It was the further we got away from where they were even at in the show, the harder this always got for us, because we're
because
it's always like cutting things out. So you're like,
we haven't seen Black Tower. I want to see Black
trial,
Tower.
They were obviously going to do that differently, right? Like my assumption was if they had got another season, they were going to actually fast forward you know what I mean? Like we'd actually get a trial of some sort. Like, in other words, they would have addressed it. So it's like if they did it exactly like the books did it, it would have taken too long, and we would have wanted them to cut it. If they're doing it the way they're doing it, maybe it'll work. So it's a harder thing for us to do this far into the book to really know.
Agree.
Like just cutting some random piece, which is basically what we're saying is cut the superfluous things that maybe were like little things that you wouldn't have time to like, close out from a plot perspective. So
and it's interesting too, because like wolf dream training montages in the show probably would have been excellent.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I would have loved that. Whereas in the book, I was like, ugh, again. Right. Right. And I can't, because I'm reading one chapter at a time, and that's all I get for this week. I'm like, oh,
well, when
God.
it could be like when a montage is literally like a 5-minute sped
montage.
Up. Yeah, montage. Not. Yeah.
Okay, well then, I don't think that one has as much value, just because the further we're getting away from it, it's kind of like we cover it because we've always covered it, but it again, like you get to like book 5, book 6, book 7, that's really interesting because there's some like really applicable pieces. This late in the series, it's really hard to even come up with anything. So I do want to know, though, this is a topic we brought up. Sorry, were you going to say something, Dani?
No.
Go ahead. This was a topic we added to the last show we did because it was a book that Brandon wrote. And so
like what are the differences or whatever?
Yeah, like what about Brandon? So like what was your thoughts here? Brandon wrote this penultimate book, and like what did you think about kind of how that turned out as a Wheel of Time book?
Yeah, I would say in a really good way, I didn't notice.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, a really good soundtrack.
Yeah, like if it's really good,
you
shouldn't
don't notice
it.
it.
Yeah.
Right? So if the soundtrack is really good for the most part in the background, it's not it affects you emotionally, but not in a way that's like, if you hear music standing out, typically it's not great. I like it in my experience. And so a really good soundtrack brings a lot of emotion, but it's not the forefront and taking over. And so I think that Brandon's writing is kind of like a really good soundtrack. Like he adds something to it. It's definitely different, but it doesn't take over what we're reading in the story.
And he does a great job with the Tower of Genja. Well, I think Tower of Genja actually might have been
Robert Jordan.
The Avienda scenes with the Ruidian stuff.
Excellent.
Like it's just incredible that he was able to.
Yeah, and I think he
recreate
fixed his
that.
Matt. I think he took feedback and fixed Matt a little bit, because that was like the main thing from the last book that like maybe didn't hit quite as well. So I didn't know. Like I honestly hardly noticed it.
Yeah, and I think it's I think more people have like read. He's written a lot more now, right? And so it's like at the time there was very little to know. Like, is this Brandon's style? You know,
Yeah,
is this like how Brandon does something? He hadn't written as many books at the time, and so like I think initially when I was reading it, it was, you know, looking to see, like with the Gathering Storm, it was like, what is different? What's changed? Towers of Midnight helped me kind of get into the story a bit more that he was writing, and kind of had gotten past that whole like, oh yeah, somebody else is writing it piece.
Yeah.
So I don't think it wouldn't surprise me, just like the further you get away from that initial kind of like step away from Robert Jordan's writing into Brandon's writing, that it's as noticeable because you're not as focused on that piece of there being a change.
I was more concerned about what the characters were doing. And the thing about even like authors who are writing the same series, even like, you know, Winter's Heart compared to the first couple books.
Yeah, like you find your stride, you find your characters.
Yeah,
you
like
find,
writers change over time. And so it's natural for me not to be super jarred by like little changes, because it's still the story I want to read. It's still the characters I want to know about. It's still the plot lines I care about.
Yeah.
And it's not so glaring. Like, and I'm no literary expert by any means. And so I'm just like reading a book to enjoy it. And I think that overall, like I can see character arcs and I can see that sort of thing. And I just attribute that to just we're moving farther into the books and what's going on in them. Yeah. I think that's probably how I see it the most.
Yeah.
It is fascinating. It was such a topic, obviously, at the time, right?
Yeah. I'm sure.
And now it's just like known that he finished it, and people are kind of, they don't go in it with the same thought process because, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people break up the series and they just like, they don't look into like the whole history of it. Maybe there's still plenty of people that are like, wait, what? You know, and maybe that's like a common experience that I'm just unaware of. But
I have a hard time. Like I feel I'm more critical of Brandon's own writings of his own books because that's his own stuff. The task he took on with this is like unbelievable. Like what a crazy thing to have to step in and do. And he did it, and he did it well.
Yeah.
So like, I don't find it constructive even to be critical of it. Like I be critical of his current work that he's currently actively working on. If anything.
No, that's
like,
true.
I'm not gonna...
like stepping into someone else's world, especially this extensive. Yeah. You know, and then like finishing the series. Yeah. I mean, you're always going to
in a timely manner. Like, he did it quickly
and with pace and with interest and I don't know. I know there's a lot. There are some negative things we could say, but I almost don't want to talk about it or focus on it because it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Like of all the things that matter, like I want to criticize the characters more than I want to criticize Brandon. If that makes sense. Like I'm like, ugh, Gawain sucks, and Perrin's doing this thing again, and right, like that feels more fun to criticize fictional characters and their flaws than criticizing a like person who took on
unbelievable challenging task.
I think that's probably where we're sitting.
No, that's true. No, that's a good way. That's a good way. Good thought process. I'll be interested to hear in, I don't know how long it'll take, but in a year maybe. To hear how you felt about.
Well, I actually kind of don't. No, like I'm used to being like, oh yeah, let's read, let's get through them, and now I'm like,
we'll drag it out.
Drag it out. This will be the podcast slog. Is actually
it's gonna be like half a chapter. Half a chapter instead of like a full chapter.
Well, I heard there's a really long chapter.
Brett, I sent you one last question. If you could take a look at that. I just want to say, like, I'm really excited for you to read this final book because you have slowly, like, you've methodically walked through this series in a way that's just so unique, and it's been years. Like, what is it? How long has it been now?
6 years. Over 6 years.
Yeah. Like
we're 6 years in May.
Yeah.
Because I know your 6 years is coming up right away.
Yeah. I'll be Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is in
August,
August,
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's wild.
Mhm.
My gosh, I was thinking about that the other day.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it's crazy to be here, but it's exciting. There's lots of the whole concept of beginnings and endings with the Wheel of Time. It's just so
Yeah,
applicable
I
to
know.
life.
Blah blah blah.
But it's just like so cool. No, like watching. I'm just saying
Yeah.
from the outside. I mean, being you in that moment, that's a totally different situation. But like, like watching this happen and being part of this. Thank you both for like coming on and sharing this and doing this thing that we do after each book. It's been fun to like be there and try to have a poker face. I'm gonna be excited like the next time I don't have to have a poker face. You know.
I know. You know what? I've
I can
already
just be like,
planned out,
right?
in our
Yeah, next time you're not going to have to worry about anything. That is
I
crazy.
know. I mean, a little tiny stuff. Tiny stuff. but,
Tiny
like,
stuff.
yeah,
Tiny stuff.
yeah.
Just like things that were answered after the books came out, but like those are
Yeah.
very, very few things.
Yeah.
So,
And
but
even
yes.
that, like I don't know, we'll figure it out of what it's like at that point. What are we waiting for here?
Oh, that would be fun. Oh, we should do that during the next one. We should just have like what we should do is because we won't be doing some of these in the same way, right? But we should
Yeah.
be talking about the reading, and then we should go through some of the like videos. It might be fun to do those live while we're chatting.
If
know
you,
what I mean?
you like pull some clips, yeah.
Pull some-
Oh
pull
yeah,
some
except
clips,
like I really
like-
don't want to see it. You know, I'm not, like I can listen to myself all day. Whatever, but
Like you want to see yourself from 6 years ago when you had more energy.
actually, I
Yeah.
probably look way less tired. But
Yeah.
we didn't have anything like this at that point, so that's
I
fun.
know.
You can
Like-
see the evolution of the
I think it's.
yeah.
I think it'd be fun to. I mean, we can talk about it when we get closer to that,
Yeah.
or and if we want to do that in 2 streams or whatever. But
hmm
or have you watch some videos and then talk about it later. I think that just like we did today when I got to
Yeah.
share that that like fan fiction thing.
Oh,
It's
so
just
cool!
fun
Yeah.
in those moments. I do have. I listened to my parody. I think we're safe. We're good.
Yeah.
Which
we're-
one? The
we're good.
freak one?
The freak one, because what you do.
I've
I-
heard of.
I did this before the final book came out. So
So we know
so-
for sure it's safe.
yeah, like I didn't like the final book had not come out, at least when I wrote the parody. And so I sang the writing of the parody as though like so I can't remember when I sang
I think
it.
I've seen clips of you singing this song.
Play
So,
it.
so
play
have
it,
you seen
play
it or no? Have you
No,
seen
I
it?
wouldn't
Okay.
have really, but like I know that it exists and that you've
Okay.
done it.
Okay.
And
So when he says Catswin is the literal dark one, we don't know that that's for sure
yeah.
accurate. It may be
Oh yeah, he
false.
actually thinks that's real. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, I don't. And someone recorded this. I've done variations on this thing many times. But this is
Is this
the,
where like the fan freak thing started?
yes.
Okay.
Yes, this is. I mean, this is where it became maybe more known. Like hardcore fan freaks was something that was like just a Theoryland name. What that was actually I think you've met Mary before. Frenzy, no? Does that?
I think so, yeah.
She's a Theorylander from back in the day, and she went to a signing, and she was like a Robert Jordan signing, and she was like listening to people in front of her, and I think they said something like, "Oh, have you ever been to Theoryland? No, that's where the hardcore fan freaks are, or whatever. I don't go there."
Oh
and she
yeah.
came back, and she came back to the forum. She's like, "We're called hardcore fan freaks," and that just became something that we just owned it at that point. We're like, "Yeah, Theorylanders we're hardcore fan freaks." So that's where that idea came from. But freak is. And that's what I'm referencing in this, being a freak, being a hardcore fan freak. So here is Freak. If you haven't heard it, here it is. Enjoy. Lots of you have heard this. So here we go.
It'll be so good, probably.
Probably.
What you're about to hear is a Wheel of Time song parody I wrote and performed for the last 10 years at JordanCon. If you haven't seen it, it's probably because I've done my best to keep it out of your view. But I thought, since we're asking fans right now to come up with their own Wheel of Time song parodies and submit them to us by February 21st, that I would share mine in public for the first time. Now, keep 2 things in mind before you listen to this parody. 1, There are some spoilers here about a character who mysteriously is killed in the books. If you don't want to know anything about that, don't keep listening. And 2, we're missing the first 4 lines of this song, so I'll perform those for you right now. This is what I call Freak by Radiohead. Jordan told us it was obvious, intuitively so. Pay attention to motive. It was someone he'd know.
Brandon was so damn obvious. Congrats, Kevin Simmons. I wish I could have but you're also the casual. But I'm all free. I'm all theory and what the heck am I doing here? Do I belong here? I miss you. It's out of my control. Still want a perfect feeling. Never believed in two souls. Don't care if you notice. The freaks are around. So go be casual. Wish I could be casual. But I'm all free. I'm all Fairylander. What the hell am I doing here? Do I belong here? Oh, oh, Sharon Jordan, and I was wrong about one chance to get it right. No time to be casual. Don't plan to be casual. 'Cause I'm free. I'm not feeling. What the hell am I doing? 'Cause I belong here. Mark and freak forever.
There you go. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Just hit some.
That's
So-
good.
You're going pretty hard.
I love it. I love
Yeah,
it so much.
It's
That's
so
great.
funny that they do the karaoke, that piece at Jordan Con.
Yeah,
on
I
Saturday
remember
nights.
our first Jordan Con. We're like, woo, karaoke. And then you're like, oh, you can't come.
Yeah, you uninvited us.
And I went, what? I was like, what do you mean I can't come to karaoke? And you're like, we sing our What Idol songs.
Yeah, I know.
You can't come.
I mean, it was.
We'll see you later. You can't come. It was the worst. I was so sad.
I did sad. I think they do those on. They do Friday nights, I want to say, and so it was always the next day. My voice was shot. Just screaming
Yeah.
Asmodean twice would just kill my voice for a good couple
Yeah.
days. So yeah, that one book left. I wanted to, when someone brought it up, they Light Blinded Fool mentioned I should show it tonight, and I listened to it while we were chatting. Got one book
Yeah.
left, one chance to get it right. No time to be casual. Like
Yeah.
what you're doing is not a casual thing. You guys are like hardcore.
No time for that. No.
No,
Ain't
no.
nobody got time to be casual.
You got one book left. You got one book left. One chance to get it right. So like enjoy the hell out of this next book. Like it's what a journey. And I just wish you the best of luck. And
well, now you're gonna make me emotional.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be sad. It's gonna be tragic. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be everything.
It's gonna be wild. End of an era.
It is, but
will you come on as a guest?
Oh yeah,
Even if
there's
even if your name doesn't appear in the chapter, will you still come talk to us? Maybe
Even if I don't remember that we do it.
I know the right spot. Yes, there are two spots. No, I couldn't.
One of them you're not invited for. One of them I'm no. One of them no.
there's one spot. Oh, there's
no,
one
not
spot
that
that's
one.
like
Pick
reasonable.
A different one.
No,
pick something else.
How do you know?
I know because it's Matt. No, pick something else.
No, I realized I couldn't come into that spot. There's. Let me think about. Yeah, I would love to come on as a guest. So I'll think about a.
We're
a place
gonna
in the
pick
book.
when you come on. How about that?
You could.
We're just gonna be like, this is what you're doing. And
Yeah,
you're just gonna have to do it.
100% sure, for sure. Thank you very much for the tip. Did Brett move the map next to Dani for reasons? I don't know.
Oh, I don't touch. I'm not allowed to touch.
I
anything
designed
here.
this. Thank you very much.
Not allowed
That
to
is my map. Thank you.
Hope all of you. Oh, Penny said, hugs to all of you going to WatCon. We'll miss you. I wish I could crash. Give the Innkeeper's wife a hug for me. Yes, that'll be fun.
Oh, that's a good question too. Will cold-hearted Dani cry during a memory
Not
of
at
life?
the parts you're supposed to, probably, because she's got a cold, dead heart.
Well,
She doesn't know how to. She doesn't cry at the right stuff.
Oh, I didn't realize this was a thing.
I think the last time I cried was when Perrin's little cousin showed up in the Two Rivers, and it's like his family line isn't dead. That's what got me. I cried
for the happy stuff.
I cry for happy things,
not for sad things.
No, not so much.
By the way, they're asking me if I'm doing a giveaway. Remember, I always suck at these giveaway things. Like Taylor used to do these, and then like Innkeeper on us, he does a good job at finding. I always suck at finding this giveaway thing on the dashboard. I'm trying, everybody out there. If you're like, is it gonna happen? It's honestly only if I can find this. Oh wait, hold on.
And I have no idea how to even run a live stream. So
no.
Let's see
options.
Oh yeah, I found it.
Settings.
Here we go. Let's see if this works. Oh, there we go. I started the giveaway. Woo!
Amazing.
Good job. You did it.
I did it.
These are the moments that we miss Taylor, I think.
Let's see. This the moments we miss Taylor.
These are the moments.
Yeah.
I miss
It's
Taylor,
working.
man.
It's
It's
working.
been so long. That guy used to be around when we first started around here.
What's he
I
doing?
know.
Just like living his life,
Living his
not
life? That's crazy.
He's
hanging out with you.
married and he's just like
What?
killing it at
I
his
knew
job
that.
and
I guess it's been 6 years.
Yeah, it's
How? Is he an adult?
is he an adult? Yeah. He turns
this year for the giveaway. I haven't even read the books.
He turns 25 this year. So yeah, he's
That's so crazy.
Does that make you feel old?
yeah. Both my wife and I turned 50 this year. So
That's fun.
Terry and I turned 50. Our youngest graduated high school, and it's like we're like done with this whole portion of our life that we started like 25 years ago, at least with having a child.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
and so like we were talking about that. It's like I'm in this weird, like I kind of get that whole like concept of like midlife. Like crisis feels like weird, but just like a midlife point where like there's a pivot, if that makes sense. Where it's just like, oh wait, all
And
of
you
these
like
things-
hope you and your wife still like each other when the kids aren't around. You're
Well,
like,
that's
should
like-
we get to know each other
Well,
again?
that's been
hopefully-
the
or-
focus for so long,
Yeah.
right? Like, and
Yeah.
we're in the middle of it because we got
Oh,
two
God.
little ones who are.
Well, hopefully you've worked on that in the process, so you're not like
Yeah.
hoping.
Yeah.
At the end. Hopefully,
Like, who
there's
are
no
you
hope. It's just
again?
like like you know where it's going because you've worked on it. So no,
That's
there's
some
like
good advice, though.
what I realized it's like a midlife pivot of like
Yeah.
you had this focus, and now there's not this. It's strange that like government mandated schooling is somehow such a pivotal thing, but it's like, oh yeah, now our kids, like, they're adults and they hopefully will go to college, or they'll pursue a passion, and they'll just take it from here. And you're still a parent, you're still guiding them in certain ways. But yeah, it's kind of weird. Like it felt like I felt it more so than like aging, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
just like 50, 40, those things weren't like so monumental, but it was just like the fact that 50 hit at the same year that piece of life ended. Yeah, it's definitely been like, oh wow, this is like
I heard a thing from an old boss who said, like, well, you can divide life into 4 sections. One is before having kids, one is having kids until they move out, the next is after your kids move out and until you retire, and then retirement onwards.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like,
if you have,
yeah.
if you choose to have kids.
But like,
Yeah.
for this specific situation, like, you can apply it.
By the
So
way,
like, it makes sense that you're like at this a new section.
yeah,
So-
I mean, we still have 2 kids living with us, but they're done with like high school, and it just like it's kind of like really close to the end of that. You start feeling kind of, I'm sure it feels different once all your kids have left the house, but it's definitely different this year. By the way, if you're doing a giveaway, only 21 of you have joined, so this is like the best opportunity ever to win
Should
a giveaway.
I join?
It's like I sometimes, when I'm not running the show and Innkeeper on us is running it, I join it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to win one. It's.
I also have to say that Dale has commented that after 50 body parts don't work as well, and the last 2 weeks I've had like some of the worst back issues of my life.
Yeah.
You're not even close.
I'm not
to
even
50.
close. I'm not even there yet. It's like the worst
No,
back.
It's just
It
because
is
you don't
a-
take care of yourself, though.
Exactly. Yeah.
I've
I
realized
spend all my time on Wheel of Time stuff. So
all the Instagram reels about health are definitely for all of us like 50 year plus. You know, like, I start reading those things like, oh yeah, I should have done that.
Yeah.
You know that strength training thing that
you
people
should
talk
have gone
about?
back in time in your 20s and taken care of yourself.
Yeah,
first.
that'd been good.
Thanks.
Um,
Thanks for the advice.
How much balefire
Yeah.
do I need to reverse time?
Light-Blinded Fool said, how many votes does Innkeeper's wife get, though? I feel she hasn't won a mug yet. Yeah, Innkeeper's wife, she joins these too. So you can join, Dani. It's definitely valid to join in there. There's no rules around guests not joining.
I should probably spell raffle correctly.
Yeah, it has to be exclamation point.
Are you giving, because
raffle,
we still
one word.
use your mugs. I
Oh, yeah.
love the mugs.
Yeah, I love these.
They're great.
These turned out really nicely.
It's a great size of mug. I'm
perfect.
all about like a good size coffee mug, because I hate tiny little coffee mugs, and that's like a good size mug.
But if you're listening,
Okay.
by the way, I'm going to close this raffle in 30 seconds. So by the time you hear that, you'll have 10 seconds. So that's kind of how the timing's going to work out for you. And I'm not really counting, so you might have like 45 seconds. Or it might be less than 30.
Taylor's not here, so
Yeah. Is the Innkeeper's wife going to WatCon?
Yes, Innkeeper's wife is going to walk on. So
Nice. Okay, well,
Yeah.
make sure that you say hi for me.
I will for 100%
Just-
sure.
She's probably the person I'll miss the most
Yeah, she's awesome.
with not going. So
Yeah.
I like her very much.
And I'm pretty sure I gave everyone time there.
Yeah, we got a
I'm
couple
gonna-
that
in.
was not 45 seconds. That was like
Jang-
10 seconds, maybe.
That was only 10 seconds?
I don't know.
No. That feels like
15
it was
seconds?
probably.
It's probably.
I run it 5, 4, 3, 2.
Those aren't
closing
seconds. Those aren't
Okay.
seconds. That's your counter
Whatever.
right now.
Relax.
You can no longer join it. And this is the funny part is when you pick a winner, it shows up in chat 20 and so we get excited and they hear our excitement 20 seconds after they see who the winner is.
I love that.
Mark, if you didn't join, you missed it, man.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
Mark. I thought you were announcing who won. And I was going to be like, woo, Mark.
Just buy her a mug, man. No, sorry. Picking a winner right now, and the winner is Not All Who Wander Are Lost has won some dusty swag.
Nice.
So
All right.
not all who wander are lost. I always say this. I'm like, I swear, not all who wander are lost has won before. I say that about everyone who wins.
Like in my head, I see all these names so often.
That's true.
Reach out to me. You know where to find me. Just send me a DM through Discord or social media, and we'll figure that out. You're at the beginning of the list of like I sent a ton, and then so hopefully.
Well, you know
hopefully
what? It's kind of validating for me because we also send things out to new patrons, and I get behind on that. Sometimes.
I don't know you've ever been as behind as I am usually behind. I don't know.
We'll see.
How far?
Issues Canada Post keeps going on straight. That's the real issue.
Yeah,
How
really
far behind? How far
Canada
behind?
Post. Can we do that?
No, not right now. There might be some people who are expecting
Like a year behind. Have you ever gone over a year?
No, not a year.
Yeah,
Very close,
I
though.
beat you.
About like 6 months, probably. Like the people who probably I owe things to aren't even patrons anymore. Like that's.
They live their life.
Well, honestly, thank you very much for coming today. Thanks everybody for watching, joining us in on this excellent journey. And one book left, one chance to get it right. Dani.
Thanks for having us, and thanks for having us every time. I remember when I was like, "Hey, should we do this all the time?" And we were just like such babies, and we were so new, and like I don't know, you were like pretty famous for us to like even, and it was like pretty cool. And you're like, "Yeah, let's make it a series." And we're like, "Oh man, that's so cool! We like hit the jackpot. We're gonna get to go. We have like a standing appointment going on the Dusty Wheel. Like that's so awesome." And so, and here we are. It's just so fun.
Well, it has been fun. It's been my pleasure, and. I'm glad that you said that. I'm glad it turned into a series of. It's just, again, like it's weird because I know this isn't the same. You're reading the book, but like the next one will be like the last one of the series.
Well, this is gonna make me cry.
And so I was like, oh man, that is.
If everyone...
and then she just becomes a normie like the rest of us.
I don't want to be a normie.
who have read this 25-year-old series.
I know, but it would have taken 7 years. And when you
I don't want to be a normie.
When you think about 7 years, that's a long time. That's a cool. That's a great amount of time to look back and have great memories about stuff. So,
and I think
like,
we estimated that it was going to take about 6-7 years to get through the series, like when we started this. So,
which felt like never.
Oh yeah, it was some fake made up make believe. 7 years from now, that'll never happen.
Right. And I was like, podcasts won't even be a thing in 7 years.
Yeah,
so true. But they still are, though.
Here we are.
Turns out.
No, but thank you both, and
enjoy
what a year
WotCon
so far, and I will enjoy WotCon, and Wat Idol will come up next, and a year from now you'll be able to watch all the Wat Idol entries without having to worry about any spoilers.
We have a couple of ideas. We've had a couple of ideas for a couple years.
Yeah.
For Wat Idol entries, and we've just never got around to doing them.
Yeah.
So we should probably at some point.
We're just behind.
We should at some point. I got some good ideas. I just need someone to like parody write it for me.
I get it.
Yeah.
I have an idea.
That's the hardest part.
I haven't sat down to write like the last couple of ideas I've had. I'm just like, man, I'm lazy. So
you are. You're the laziest person I know.
It is.
You hear that all the time. God, stop being so lazy.
It's so true. No, but love you guys, and sorry we won't see you at WotCon, but be well and enjoy this last book, Dani. And thank you everybody out there for joining us in this live stream. And I will see many of you this week at WotCon. So
have the best time.
Thank you so much. And yes, that's it, everybody. I don't have an exact date. I think I will be out for the next couple of weeks. I don't know if Innkeeper on us will be jumping on a live stream. We'll try to live stream from WotCon. And then obviously Wat Idol is coming up. So you will see us again here at the Dusty Wheel. But as we say around here, good night and smash the black.
Welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel. You went right to kill it. Look at you. You're all ready. You're just done. I mean, this is like this is
really well. And now I'm like, great, my turn.
And if you don't like that, and you want to say, well, Robert Jordan could have made the two rivers all white. He could have, but he didn't. So
Just complimented me on my dress, and as you can clearly see, I'm not white.
I see Nakomi as something along the lines of a Shadar Haran analog.
It does make sense why it outlasted the breaking. is all I'm saying. See, this is why I have Therese in the show, because she's going to correct everything that
Hey everybody, welcome to the Dusty Will Show. What? Meme Off Challenge. Yay!
Like baby face mounted on like a huge body. So like all
This
of
is
a
not
sudden,
just
it's
a
like, wow.
traditional fantasy, right? There are sci-fi
And
elements.
just a
for
moment
those that are
ago,
kind of interested.
Rafe tweeted something. So let me get my guest in here with me. And
Probably, I would say, put in 70, 80% of the work. I got to be over the shoulder and be like, no,